Tonight, we're bringing this week's flight sim news with thanks to SayIntentions. We preview Hong Kong from IniBuilds with the B25 from Aeroplane Heaven. Then we check out Key West, Barbados, Oxford, London, and check out Navigraph Scratchpads. Hello, everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to the middle of the week, the halftime show, the midweek shuffle. Welcome to the news. Yes, we've loads of news. It's flat out, I tell you. Absolutely mad what's going on in the world. Loads of add-ons, things we need to go look at. Hope you're all keeping well. A very warm welcome from Tipperary. It's 11 degrees. Yes, it was to be -2, and it was that this morning, you know. But now it's all back to quite being all right again. I had a busy day. I've had a very productive day. I'm making videos, and it's funny, you know. I did talk to myself an awful lot. I've just realised this. Because I don't know, was I thinking something or was I speaking something, but I actually said, wait, what? Out loud. And there was no one else here. Well, the cat was here. I could have been talking to the cat. It's one of those signs, lads, you know, right. But it's grand. Flat out tonight now, loads of things. We have scenery, brand new scenery on the way from IniBuilds, Hong Kong, and they've included a POI pack as well. The B25J, Aeroplane Heaven, it's here on the screen beside me, look. Right, brilliant. And then we've loads of other things. We have Key West out in Florida, a place I absolutely need to visit. I want to do the drive, you know, drive from kind of like Orlando or Miami or something out to Key West. I think that'd be fantastic. And then it's over to Barbados. And then even more tropical than that, it's Oxford. Yes, we'll be checking that one out. And well, Navigraph have done a thing. They've done a thing, and they've released scratchpads. They're catching up, kind of, sort of, nearly. And then we've SayIntentions, and we're going to be checking out the updates this week from SayIntentions and the things that they're working on. So it's going to be busy, flat out now, as I said. So Jesus. So right. We'll see how we get on. Hope you're all keeping well. Hope you're having a great day. The good news is we're at the halfway point. I mean, after tonight, lads, we're on the home stretch. Do you know what I mean? Straight into the weekend. And I'm looking at my calendar there. Time is going fast, isn't it? So we're here this week. We're here next week. We're here the week after. Then it's FS weekend. Then our Wednesday news stream will actually happen on the 23rd of March, which is a Monday. Because on the 25th, I'm hopping into an Echelon Suez Go Sky off to New Zealand, you see. So it's all happening. Do you know? But we'll slow it all down now. We'll take our time. We've lots to check out. There is a bit of news there as well. So, yes, we'll see how we get on. But you're all very welcome in. You're looking great. Do you know who's here? Look, CP65. Welcome aboard. Happy Wednesday. Vacuum is here. Cracker, good evening. Tarnish Mossman. Yeah, baby. Welcome in, buddy. Uniform Goose. Good day, Goose. Chox is here. It's time for some midweek shuffling. You say all these phrases, people don't understand you, you know. Week hash, you know, the midweek shuffle. Huh? That's right. Or Bijani. Bijani, I think, is a new one for this kind of, you know, year. Bijani. You can use it on any sentence, anywhere. It's applicable to anything. And then people kind of go, what? Brilliant, right? That's what it's all about. Who else is here? Viper Strike, a very good evening. Hope all is well, buddy. Photoshop. Soaring AJ. AJH man. Spitfire RF 100 is here. A very good evening to you, my dude. Super Typhon is here. Sup? Captain Sticky Rice is with us. How are things down under, man? Mech Manser, a very good evening to you. APU Inspector is here. Halfway to the weekend. 175 streams in a row. You very, very much indeed, buddy. Hope you're well. Derek is here. Commander Balosh, good evening. Linny Bobbins. Tis yourself and your towel news. What colour did you get from Temu? I bought a clock gadget. Right. And since I did the gadget yesterday, I've got no more notifications. Brilliant. My phone is basically living its best life. And, well, I'm expecting that clock to arrive tomorrow. So we'll have, like, unboxing stream thing once again. Be mindful of the sharp objects. And then I have to find where I'm going to put it. Should have thought of that first. But anyway, all is well, Linny. Creo is here. Good evening. Hope all is well. Shuffle Shoes shuffles in. AJH John, hope you're well. Krabby1, good evening. Idle Cutoff, Cambridge calling. Hello from Tipperary. Fierce Wolf is here, looking fierce. And Wolfie. Cyrus T, the man of teal, has rumbled into the chat. Good to see you, Cyrus. Anthony V, Kia Ora, good to see you, man. Mr. TPHI, hello, everyone. I've done work soon. Then I can get home and watch the rest of the stream. Interested to see if his head is growing back on after that major injury. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it's still there. I went rubbing a bit too hard now, you know, and it was sore. But yeah, it's you know, nearly lost. The whole thing nearly went out the window, do you know? Eamon, good to see you, buddy. Toto2495, happy Wednesday. El Barto is here, welcome in. Where's this now? Tarnish, thank you for 15 in a row, buddy. The Limbics, my dude who helped me out with a phone call to a place in New Zealand. Thank you very much. Good to see you, man. So we're going to go to... Bijani then, what's the name of it? I'm actually forgetting. Wait now. Don't remind me. Crosswinds Cafe on the 4th of April, Saturday, 2026. Don't know what time yet, but I'll be there. And the Limbics will be there. And others. And we're going to do a bit of a BAR meetup. The BAR, right? A bar meetup. And we'll hopefully get a beer or a cup of coffee or something nice, looking and listening to very loud airplanes, including the F-22. Ooh. Warbirds over Wanaka. Yeah, that's the one. So that's all kicking off next month. Cannot wait for that, lads. It's going to be absolutely mad. So I'll bring plenty of things to go live and show things off. The only thing is, the time is going to be mad. New Zealand are what? What are you ahead of us? 10 hours or 11 hours? So we'll be going live at like, what's he doing on at this time, the Aegis? Right. Be grand. Totally fine. Now, Strap is here. Good evening to you. Stu Snape is in the house. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're well and not managed to bash anything today. I did all right today. Nothing bashed yet. The night is young. Culkin, good evening. TG Sims is here. Welcome aboard. Willow, how much? Another week is flying by. No pun intended. Right? The weeks are flying by. Eamon, thank you very much indeed. 165 streams in a row. To which he answers, I need to get a life? Not at all. This is normal, Eamon. This is how we keep up with keeping up. Yes. Currently descending into, Kempa Gouda International Airport, says Derek. Nice. Stick Figures here. Nutty Slack, good evening. Sumner, he says, happy Wednesday, Murph from Naples, Florida. Just finished your how to improve your sim video. Brilliant. So, yeah, we'll have more of those. Basically, it's kind of looking at your sim rigs, figuring out, what what works well, but also then, well, hey, could you change it, or you're to watch for this. So yeah, I love looking at all the setups. It's amazing. And well, massive thanks, guys, because we've had tons of pictures sent through over to our Discord. So yeah, we'll have another video coming soon for that. Flying Trits, good evening, hope you're well. Crafty Tigers, happy Wednesday. Hey, Crotty is here, good evening. Vespia is here for 7 in a row, thank you very much indeed. Filthy, good evening. Muse fan bursts in the door. He says how he is mad jokes. He is happy hump day. Good to see him, Muse. Jesus, better bring extra cups of coffee for tonight. That's a lot of things. Energizer, we're flat out. Norse Viking, good evening. Iowa Scotsman, welcome in, buddy. Hope all is well. And Norse Viking, thank you for 6 months, buddy. Subscribe to the channel. You're very, very kind indeed. Hermit something, very good afternoon to Boston. Good to see you, Hermit. Just Roy is here. Good evening. Currently departed OMDB over to Eham on a relief flight. 777. Nice. I need to get flying that 777 again. I'm very much looking forward to tomorrow night because I get to put out all my wind control gear. Here is going to look like, someone at my age trying to, but it'll look great. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Liptorius, hope you're well, buddy. Cy120 is here. Doc Nader, good evening. Hope all is well, lads. Let me see here now. Jesus now. Fedezzo, welcome in. Yes, we're checking out some IniBuilds stuff tonight. This came out of nowhere. It's like, what, really? Brilliant. So, yeah, looking forward to this. Goblin Zeus, good evening. Hope you're well. Frank is here. He says, yesterday, your stream, I received a contact suggestion on LinkedIn. It was me. Really? A suggestion? Oh, yeah. LinkedIn is great for that. It suggests things, I'm great, old crack, though, you wouldn't know when you need me in your professional life. For anyone, I'm that sort of fella. If you're having a bad day, get in contact with me and I will absolutely follow the script and, most assertively tell that person who is bothering you to shag off. Right? Hello, can you just take this? Shag off! Brilliant. It'll work for everyone. It's a service that I offer, you see. Brilliant, right? Where is this now? Rather bodacious, I'd say. Party on, Doc. Yeah, right. Brilliant. In a box, man, good evening. Hope you're well, buddy. Photos by Kev is here. Good to see you, man. Who else came in the door? Black Dog. He's a great dog, really great dog. Great to see you, buddy. Bossman Gaming, good to see you, bud. Happy Wednesday. Lucky Bow is here. 3 days of snow and a foot more. -16. Incredible. Paparazzi, a very happy news day to you. Still installing and having fun in the sim after a major upgrade. Ooh. Interesting. Free trade something. Wait, what? Beer. I am bringing my sober driver with me. Yes, very important. And wear comfortable shoes, the Limbics, right? Ideally something we can run fast in just in case. You know how these things go. Right? Debo, good to see you, buddy. Debo Fly says, hi all from Southern California. I'd like to be in Southern California right now. Something tells me it'd be just, nice to look at. Belbro is here. I'm sitting on the tip of my chair for the newsage. Yes. Heisenberg, good evening. He says, good evening, Murph and fellow Fireflies, aviation enthusiasts, friends and family, and, yeah. It's good to see you, bud. Happy Wednesday. Dazza Arab has rumbled in. The man has received more things in his postal service, and building of the man rig continues. Brilliant. Hope you're well, Dazza. You're looking well, despite everything. But Better Half has demanded her conservatory back, so I'm designing a garage conversion as my new man cave. Hang on a second, pull up the handbrake. Kev, that means you have to move your setup out of the conservatory into the shed. This could be very interesting. Well, the garage, I'd be nervous putting things in a shed. You'd want proper owl insulation. Vasco is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. He says, hello, everyone. My wife sends her regards. Well, hello to Vasco and Mrs. Vasco. You're very welcome in. Happy Wednesday. UTB is here. Evening all. I managed to watch your setup video last night and it never occurred to me to plug in a second keyboard. I'll have buttons everywhere. Yes. How many keys are on a keyboard? Quick. A standard QWERTY keyboard. How many keys? Go. We'll see how quick you can answer that one now. Someone will either know at the moment. Mr. Dan straight away. He didn't even think about it. Look. Her regards to Murph Amend. Aris, she said hello to everyone. Brilliant. Sunjammer, good evening. Where's this now? What would you say if we were having a bad month? They never have a bad month. Doesn't matter, CP. When things are bad, we come here, you know, and we figure out what goes on in Murphy's life. As for example, I built the wing control stuff and I'm now up 3 Allen keys and 2 bolts. And I cannot, for the life of me, figure out where they're supposed to go, but they are supposed to go somewhere. These are things I'll worry about. You know, you don't have to. And with that, the whole shelf collapses or so. Speaking of which, I have a shelf behind the door I need to install one of these days. Does anyone fancy coming down and doing it? Right, I'll sit here. Now you're doing it wrong. Right, that's what I do. And then it'll be done. Yeah, 100%. Where is this? Another service of Murphy Enterprises. Yes. The only ray of sunshine in Ireland comes from Murph, right? Digital Mark, good to see you. 98 Vulcan, slept it in. Oh, be Jesus. Mr. Paulie, welcome aboard. Zybok Dog calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. Mr. Dan, welcome in. Captain Kenobi is here. 5 months, buddy. Thank you very, very much indeed for your support. Where is this now? Virtual Gamer. Is it 144 keys, 101 keys, or 110 keys? I'm not going to start. I will. What? I won't. I'm not counting them. But it's 100-ish. Yeah, that's the number. It'll be an integral garage conversion. Brick up the garage door, add another layer of insulation and plasterboard, skim the floor, and then install. Jeez, that sounds like a big job, Kev. Where's this now? Mark says, sure thing, Murph. You just got to fly me over. And yourself. We're on the way. The extras go in the drawer of many things. The drawer of many things is under pressure. I mean, there's stuff in here I don't even know where I got it from, what does it do? I mean, put it this way. Does anyone else have a half-used box of batteries in a drawer? You know, or does that work? Jesus, that's bright. Oh God, I have a head torch, you know, or what would you call them in America? You don't, flashlight, a head flashlight? A head torch, right? Yeah, but we're not going through my drawers tonight, you know. We've other more important things to be doing. Where's this now? I'm using a German keyboard. Very good. Right, what, does that mean more? A chick magnet. Yeah, a headlamp. Head torch, headlamp. We'll go with that. The ground controller is here. Good to see you. Weebles, a very good evening. The leftover Allen screw, or the screws and Allen keys, need to go in the stuff. Grand. And the takeaway menus, right? And remote controls of things that, you know, we just never use again. Mike Coffee, good evening. Side Voltage is here. 7 degrees, minus 15 just 2 days ago, says Super Typhon. Jesus. Black Sheep Jean is here. Moza has a new product coming. Picture looks like a speaker tower. Ooh, Moza. Kieran Nile, good to see you. Dave Cleary, legend Dave. Welcome back, Dave. They kept telling me it's windy outside. Wait, what happened? Which others... They kept telling me it was windy outside. I couldn't find her anywhere, says Mike Coffee. Who are you missing? Gary is here, good to see you. No, Jerry is here. When will you be reviewing the Airbus goodies, asks Jerry Keaveney. Jerry, tomorrow. Well, not really reviewing. We're going to fly with them. And then we'll pop them up and do reviews of them. Do you know, because they're very good. Northland Air, good evening to you. Madude, hope all is well. Timmy Dodd is here, good evening. Kubi Montana, welcome aboard. Shane Air, good to see you. Byron is in the house. And Headlamp, Headlamp. Brilliant. Right, we're flat out. We better get started because we've things to do. I'd love to stay and chat and all, but I'm going to go to another screen where I can stay and chat. You ready? Look at this for a transition. I mean, the level of productivity... That's a terrible bad squeak. I know about it, so you don't need to worry, right? I know it's there. I can't find me WD-40 anywhere. Do you know the way you put something... I'll put that somewhere safe. Oh, Jesus. Right. Anyway, we've loads to do, lads, so we'll start at the beginning. Let me see. Velo, good evening. MacVision, good evening. What flight is this? No flight this evening. It's all about talking about things. Very interesting. Wear the headlamp the next time you go under your desk. Maybe that'll help. It's not that I'll be able to see... where I'm going, so the headlamp will take the brunt of the bang. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, you need to get... you need to grease it, not degrease it. Is WD-40 a degreaser? It fixes everything. You know, put it on your cornflakes. It'll sort you right out. You know, if you have a bad back or anything, just spray it on there, you know, and a helmet, right? Right, anyway, right, we'll get started because it's busy, right? And, you know, we'll start at the beginning. Ooh. This here is a B25J, and we're on the ground here, and we're going to be checking out Hong Kong in a few moments. This is from IniBuilds, and it's on the way. It's still in development, but it's on the way, so we'll be checking it out, right? So, a water displacer, you say? Rub it on a chicken wing. Right, Captain Bismarck is here. Good to see you, buddy. Brake cleaner. Jesus, lads. Right, holy tabs on a screen, and we'll move them across. Ding. So, friends, we start off with our news this evening. And a big shout out to Vasco and his lovely wife for MSFS Addons.com, where we get all our news. And then, of course, to Callum and all the guys over at FS Elite who do great stuff. Very much looking forward to this stage this year at FS Weekend. They do a great bit of stuff. So, Project Griffin. Huh? It's a new Boeing 787-9 on its way to Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Now, the Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 ecosystem, it's about to get a bit more crowded in the long-haul sector. While many simmers have spent the last few years oscillating between the default 7.8 and various heavy metal add-ons from established names, like of Horizon, a new dev team has emerged from the shadows. Vector officially announced Project Griffin, a ground-up development of the 787-9 Dreamliner specifically made for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. The announcement comes at a time when the community is certainly hungry for a definitive 787, and while the working title improvements to the default aircraft provided a massive leap in quality, and other third-party developers have worked on, they're teasing projects for the 787, well, Vector say that they're aiming for a level of depth that prioritizes long session usability and system accuracy. So, who are they, Vector? Right? Well, one of the most common reactions to a new developer announcing a complex airliner, well, it's like, who? What? They won't have a clue. However, the team at Vector, well, they're not exactly new on the scene. In communications following the announcement, the developers revealed the team consists of over 20 people, many of whom have significant track records within the flight sim genre. The lead developer mentions a career dating back to 2005 with involvement with over 20 aircraft, which include 2020 and 2024. And that's just in the last 3 years alone. Includes work on everything from light GA aircraft like the Jenny and the Goose to complex Airbus systems. The team say that while the studio name is new, their collective work is likely already sitting in our community folder. Now, technical foundation is where many ambitious airline projects succeed or indeed fail. And Vector say that they're building Project Griffin using WebAssembly framework. Interestingly, the developer noted that they are writing the code from the bottom up, specifically for this project, rather than porting over legacy C++ code from other sims. The team say the approach is intended to avoid the stability issues and crashes sometimes associated with complex WASM modules. By designing the system logic, FMC and flight director specifically for 2024's architecture, they claim they can better utilize the increased power of the sim. Now, they say the development process is heavily informed by active 787 pilots. Professionals are reportedly embedded into the team to validate cockpit workflows and the system logic. The goal, according to the developer, is to move beyond just visual fidelity to create an aircraft that feels correct to those who fly it for a living. Some of the key features: dual EFB setup. The aircraft will feature both authentic Boeing electronic flight bag and a separate tablet for simulator-specific options. Built for 2024, it will support Navigraph and also Lido charts and VATSIM ready. They state that the aircraft is already capable of flying with online networks, a focus on high-pressure environment reliability. So the road to release, well, the announcement has generated significant interest. There's also plenty of skepticism, so patience will be required. Vector has set a 2026 release window, which could mean anything from a few weeks to almost a year before launch. Interestingly, the team will be making their first public appearance at FS Weekend at Lelystad later this month, and it'll be likely the first opportunity for the community and media to verify the claims regarding the project scope. Now, my understanding, I noticed one or two of the developers, because there's pictures on their Discord and whatnot, and one of them used to be with Orbx, right? And the experience there, if you look back to some of the earlier Orbx aircraft, like the PAC 750, they were fairly solid aircraft, right? This is definitely a project I think a lot of people would like. The 787, like, you can use the Horizon mod, but it was just an aircraft that just wasn't really there. You know what I mean? It was a buying, or was a purchasing decision, I think, back in 2020. A lot of people wanted to get, like, you know, the top sim because they got access to this, and then the default 787 was like, let's just leave that in the hangar for a while. So, I mean, the closest thing to compare to this sort of a machine would be the Airbus A350, right? There are similarities across both aircraft. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on with this. The one photo they released, I mean, it looks pretty nice. There's nice details there. I don't know, is it their own model from the ground up? Are they using the base sim building onto it? By the sounds of it, everything is from the ground up. It's everything as their own standalone aircraft. This could be huge. Could be huge. So we'll keep you up to date with that. They're going to be at FS Weekend. We'll try and get in front of them and say hello there and find out what's happening, right? Now, got friends, they've shared new Tailorcraft previews and teased a new Flight Sim 2024 flagship. Ooh. So, for the past few years, got friends, they've consistently delivered some of the most popular bush planes and gliders in Microsoft Flight Sim. And it actually goes beyond the aircraft themselves. What they did with gliders, with the avionics, I thought it was absolutely incredible, right? Following the release of the A32 Vixen, the team have now broken their short silence with a significant update regarding the future development roadmap. The core takeaway here is a definitive shift in focus. The upcoming Tailorcraft will serve as the final new aircraft for the 2020 platform. And after this project is finished, well, got friends planned to develop exclusively for 2024 to take advantage of the new Sim's core technologies. The Tailorcraft project is currently the primary focus of the team. Recent review images showcase a versatile aircraft with multiple planned variants, including float, bush, ski, and classic configurations. According to Got Friends, the 2020 build is expected to enter closed beta testing this March. And during the testing phase, well, the team will simultaneously work on a native 2024 version. And the good news here is, you know, Got Friends are also a first-party developer with Microsoft Flight Sim. They've built some very good aircraft into the default sim. My favorite is it the Norden, right? They've made some really beautiful aircraft. So I'm excited to see kind of where they're going to go. Like, the decision to move forward to 2024 and only 2024, that's quite exciting because you can just do so much more with it. Do you know? I mean, you have all this LOD, which to some developers is causing them all sorts of headaches, but other developers, they can really take advantage of it. I mean, they can pour in systems and the eye candy and it still get great performance, right? It'll be interesting. So looking ahead, the team still maintaining the recent catalogue. Updates are currently in the works for both the AS33 glider and the Vixen, and the patches will introduce specific flight model refinements. Ambitions for the Super Gravel, the most highly anticipated projects is in the Got Friends pipeline, is the Super Gravel. While the team is keeping specific details closely guarded, they have shared work in progress untextured 3D model. And what's always funny here is when people see like these sort of aircraft, they're like, oh, what? Not another one, right? We did the same with airliners. Here's another A320. But Got Friends are incredible. They do very kind of bespoke work on all of their add-ons. Nothing flies like the other one. We saw it with the F. Was it the F4F they made? We saw it with the Wilga, right? And we saw it with the Vixen. They're so very different, and it's just great to see it. So since we're talking Got Friends, great time to mention, oh, hang on, the membership. We'll get onto that now in a second. We'll get onto that in a minute, Vasco's. Be seated now, be seated. It looks pretty cool, though, this Tailorcraft, doesn't it? Very pretty for the, look at that, for the bush flying, you know. And if we're going to get floats with it as well, deadly. I'm looking, it's gas, right? I know we can change the weather in the sim, but like if you kind of fly everywhere with live weather, most of our flying is happening, well, it's funny because it's usually somewhere warm, right? But getting into Canada now, into the summertime, is just going to be absolutely class. It's cool how all that works. Now, news from TFDI Design. They have cleared the deck. The MD-11 stability has paved the way for other projects. When TFDI Design released the massive 1.1 update for the MD-11, it was a high-stakes moment for the studio. They introduced a completely new exterior model, the extended simulation package, and official support for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Now, I think it was Nate who was having issues with an LOD on this. I don't know if they fixed that. And it's something that I'm seeing more and more with aircraft developers. And I think it's down to they're not testing the LOD using the likes of chase plane, and that could be a problem because the default camera distances in the sim, they're enough, right? But with chase plane, it's where you can kind of really start saying, look, the thing disappeared and like I'm only 2 feet more away than what the default camera sets are. Something to watch for. But anyway, the initial dust has settled and the team has released what they call a week 1 patch focusing on stability and integration. The update addresses some of the friction points that often hinder high fidelity airliners during the first month for the new sim. Now, refining the pilot experience. Well, TFDI Design say that the primary focus of the update is the pilot experience, specifically regarding how the aircraft interacts with the user and the external tools. One of the most requested features was better integration for planning. The EFB now includes an option to view your SimBrief flight plan directly and removes the need for pilots to toggle between the sim and a web browser. Technical performance also received a significant look, many users reporting performance loss during very long flights or flight involving multiple step climbs, and developers say the update contains a fix for that specific memory or calculation issue. While much of the work happened in the code, also some visuals got into it as well. Engine wobble animations for the 2024 version, and there was over 150 changes. But here's what is very interesting. What are they going to do next, right? So they have confirmed that with the update, active development for the aircraft has concluded for the time being. The team say that they will now shift their daily efforts towards other projects, and they'll keep an eye on the MD-11 for any kind of major issues. This stable state is a prerequisite for the next big step. That's to get it onto the marketplace, and the package has been sent to Microsoft for review, and once they pass it, the MD-11 will finally be available for both Xbox and PC users directly through the InSim marketplace. With the MD-11 now firmly established as a stable, definitive edition, the heavy lifting appears to be over for TFDI Design. The shift in focus towards other projects, well, it's a huge tease. They faced some headwinds when the MD-11 was not yet the standard we were hoping for, but the studio has completely turned things around. Whether that means a completely fresh airframe or the long-awaited high-fidelity rejuvenation of the classic Boeing 717, the coming months should be very interesting. I'd be expecting to hear something from TFDI Design. If we don't hear it at FS Weekend, we'll probably hear it at FS Expo. But yeah, what do you think they'll work on next, lads? Flying Winnebago, good to see you, buddy. Alec is here. M. Morgan, welcome aboard. That MD-11 is class. Like, we flew that across the Atlantic. Like, it's a great aircraft. So I need to go flying it again. It's a cargo. Love it. Absolutely brilliant. Now, Virga Studios prepares a pointer Alpha Jet for Flight Sim 2024. So Virga Studios surprised the community last year with the release of their Alpha Jet for Flight Sim, but the transition to 2024 platform has been a functional experience so far. For those looking to have a proper rendition of the add-on, Virga has confirmed a native version is finally on the horizon. The developer recently shared a status report of their progress, confirming that while the aircraft is nearly ready for its new home, there's still a few technical and administrative hurdles remaining. The jump to a native 2024 build involves a complete redesign to take advantage of the new Sim's architecture, and the developers say the aircraft is currently undergoing industrial stresses tests to ensure it's stable. The team isn't quite ready to hit the launch button, and they have identified a few malfunctioning switches and a specific engine start issue that affects roughly 5% of flights. So rather than releasing it, they're keeping it close to the chest to say, well, we'll stay working. Now, the Alpha Jet, I've flown this, right? It's just better in 2020, right? It's meh in 2024. But it's very much focused on the Alpha Jet, and it's a beautiful jet. One of the most frequent requests of the aircraft has been the addition of the A variant. While the current model represents the E version used by the French Air Force, well, the developer teased a new exterior model is indeed coming. It'll feature the distinct pointed nose associated with the Luftwaffe's Alpha Jet and those used by Canada by the top aces. Along with the physical changes, several new liveries are also in production. They're also kind of having a bit of an issue trying to get things onto the marketplace. The administrative bottleneck means that for now, the project relies heavily on users who purchase through external platforms. The developers say that the sales are vital for the survival of the project while they wait for Microsoft to process the backlog. So we're hearing it from some developers. Yeah, there's a delay once again getting things onto the marketplace. But really, so it seems to be an issue. Now, this one, pretty cool. IniBuilds, the A400. This was a huge kind of, I won't say a selling point, but I think when we saw this aircraft on the trailers for Flight Sim 2024, I think we're all like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And it is. The A400 by IniBuilds, which is part of the Microsoft fleet, is an awesome aircraft. And so much so, they said, right, it's time to make this work over on 2020. And that's exactly what's happened. So the A400M, it's now available for Flight Sim 2020. A couple of fixes and changes to make it work over there, but anyone who's flown this in 2024, and if you haven't yet adapted to the 2024 Flight Sim and you're still on 2020, well, go ahead and check it out. The A400 is a cracker of an aircraft, real life and in the sim, and Ini did a great job at this. There's, it's modern Airbus A350 kind of avionics mixed with military. It's class, and like it's a gorgeous aircraft, and like even the engines, they're weird, right? The engines are running without, you can run the engines without torque in them. They're just kind of windmilling, I suppose. And then you can put the proper juice in. It's pretty cool, right? Yeah, Captain Bismarck, yeah, 100%. The Alpha Jet is heavy on FPS in 24. It is. I wonder why certain developers have 400 things each week on there. Yeah. Like, I still don't understand. Like, someone's buying them, that's why they're still there. But like, yeah, so like some of the crap that comes out, it's shocking, isn't it? Praying for a 717. CP reckons it'll be an A340. Tarnish says a VC10. Ooh, that could be interesting. So yeah, so if you're on 2020, the A400 is now available there. It's $20 on the marketplace, which is a great price. That is an excellent aircraft. If you're only using flights in 2020, definitely check this thing out. It's awesome. Right, awesome. Rolling Stone, good to see you. Assetto Corsa recently added a Skoda. I've seen pictures. I'm like, ooh, need to do that. So moving on over to FlightSimTees.com, where Gibbo has been very busy marshalling people, taking photographs to show the new gear you'll love. Couple of updates here on Flight Sim Tees. We checked it out last week. We saw these new designs, and I love these because it was able to get like your call sign or your avatar or whatever your screen name is directly onto a t-shirt, right? And there's different designs here. We've Goose. There was something in here as well. He said, Murph, you're such a big Egypt. And then I said, what? So there was like, look at this, look. Brilliant, right? Mike Uniform, Romeo Papa Hotel Yankee. If someone gets that exact t-shirt, I will shake their hand and dance with them because it says Murphy up the hill, right? Brilliant. That's Pajo. That's Pajo there walking around Dublin Airport, right? But anyway, new additions have landed onto FlightSimTees.com, and we have tees and hoodies, and now we have Zuddies. Check it out. This might seem like it's a small thing, but it really isn't. For those who like wearing hoodies that have a zip, right? Sometimes it's an over-your-head hoodie, which are grand. Some like the zip because they'll put their head in the hood and pretend they're Batman, or they'll like to think that they have their own personal parachute, or, get blown over in the wind. And that's what we have here. So with the new Zuddies, we also have some new designs. So the Sim Enthusiast, I love this, right? Check it out. 100% Microsoft Flight Sim, autopilot optional. Contents may vary depending on weather, realism settings, and landing quality. Ingredients: 100% passion for aviation, high realism settings, late night flights, questionable landings, a fully loaded community folder, optional ATC compliance, and a strong addiction to one more flight. A healthy disregard of checklists. Landings not guaranteed, flexible flight paths, operates better with beer, may attempt crosswind landings, require hardware upgrades. Brilliant. I absolutely love this. It needs to be put everywhere. So yes, we like this. We absolutely like this. So we now have Zuddies. So you've heard of hoodies, now we've Zuddies. And there's just a couple of new designs that he's put up there. There's Philippe is there, right? So what else do we have? The other one then, we've Top Gun stuff. Again, it's like, that's right, I'm dangerous. You have to do the teeth, right? And again, they're a zip up hoodie, but like, look at, you know, it's amazing when you have an over the head hoodie versus the zip up one. Do you know what I mean? The Airbus A380, that's pretty now, isn't it? There's Marjorie. That's Marjorie, A380, right? And there's Paddy, and there's John and Jill. Right, but you get the idea, right? And again, lads, just remember a lot of the stuff that Flight Sim Tees have. If you have your own specific design, they're more than willing to have a chat with you to say, well, hey, okay, give us your, you know, we'll see, can we make it happen for you? So, you know, have an outlook at it. Fly it like you stole it. Love that one. And there's Jean-Luc. Where we're going, we don't need runways. For the bush pilot extraordinaire, you need this in your life. You absolutely do. The cool designs, right? Which one is Gibbo? He's hiding there, you know. But all the other designs that we've seen, they've now made it into the hoodies, you know. Brilliant. You can be my wingtime, or you can be my wingman anytime. You can be mine. It's attitude, it's class, but like, again, lads, the important thing about all this, you know, for apparel, I've looked into this doing our own, you know, our merch and all this kind of stuff. And like, it was grand and all, but like, you know, the stuff I bought, using, you know, whatever, what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever solutions that you can get with like these massive online stores. Yeah, you get them at a cheaper price, but the quality is absolutely crap. You're talking literally 2 or 3, 4 at tops, wearing stuff, giving it a wash, and it's gone. The graphics are gone. The material is jaded. You do not get that issue with this gear. You just don't. Like, it's I don't know what Gibbo has spent in terms of research or what process it is. You know, does he wear them in like very strange kind of positions for long periods of time? The gear is it holds its shape. The graphics don't go anywhere. It's comfortable clothing. So yeah, you're paying for it, but like, you'd rather pay for it and know it's good than, you know, pay cheap and it is cheap. You know what I mean? So if you're interested in buying any of the gear, do be sure to use a code that's on my screen here. It'll get you 10% off. 10%. Saving money is always a great thing. Do be sure to check it all out. And yeah, 5 watches in, the logo is still on my tee. There we go. There we go. And there's reviews there as well. Like, I mean, it's you know, you don't have to take my word from it. You'll see the reviews on the website. And you know what? The reviews are from our community. These are our guys, right? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Murph, you need a command. I do need a command for that. But anyway, it's some class stuff coming out from Flight Sim Tees. Like, it's good to get this, or it's good to see this. Where else do you get them? There used to be a website years ago, Hardy Baby or something in Ireland, and yeah, you can get the stuff. But like, again, the gear went crap. It just went absolutely crap after a couple of days or a couple of weeks. This stuff doesn't. I mean, what have I got? I've got this hoodie. I have another hoodie. I must have 5 t-shirts. And like, it's all perfect. And for me, t-shirts are they are the holy burden, because I'm mad about the neck in a t-shirt. Most t-shirts I see, I can't stand if the neck goes down. I just can't stand it. It doesn't look right. Baggy clothing, fix your life, right? You don't get these issues with the materials that Gibbo gets. You just don't. It's brilliant, do you know? So check it all out. John and Jill, yeah. It was a great day in the park, Gibbo, you know, when John and Jill were there. Try this on next, Jill. I will, says John. Wait, what? Do you know? So yeah, do be sure to check it out. There's loads of designs there already, and Gibbo's constantly bringing new designs. Constantly, so keep an eye on it. We'll try and keep you up to date every week with any changes. And if there's going to be offers and deals and all this kind of stuff. So we'll keep you up to date with that. But check out the site. It is class. Absolutely class. We're looking forward to the summer wear, you know, the new Crocs edition. Crocs and ponchos, or you know, words to that effect. But yes, she's coming out of the office. Great, the house is going to be turned upside down. But anyway, do check it out, lads. There's some class stuff there. And if you have any questions about it, it's Gibbo, so you can talk to Gibbo, right? Talk to Gibbo, 1850. So, but you know what I mean? You're not dealing with like over there. You're dealing with people in our own community. That's the difference here. Do you know what I mean? So awesome stuff. And that's just class. I love that Flight Sim Enthusiast one. That's absolutely deadly. Because like, imagine like being on the bus. What's that feckin' Egypt wearing? Right? Brilliant. But anyway, we shall continue. Great stuff from Flight Sim Tees and up to 5XL, lads, right? Legends of the Sky looks cool. Dougal is here, good to see you. Any budgie smudge. One Fly Air, good to see you. You're dealing with over here, not over there. Do you know what I mean, Big Al? Right, I'm just saying, you need to get yourself sorted now with one of these. But anyway, moving on. Golden Isles. The Golden Isles of Microsoft Flight Sim. Well, it's a new scenery release from Orbx, and it's that of St. Simons Island. Or is it St. Simon's? You know. Murph, did Gibbo ask you about what I asked him on a hoodie? I'm not quite sure. God Friends are here. Good to see you. We just read out a snippet of usage of your Taylorcraft. Very exciting, lads. On the website now, I said no more hoodies, but the resolution didn't last long. Byron, you know, life is better wearing a zoodie. Or is it a zoodie? Books or books? This is a Dublin thing. Is it books or books? Catches your books. Huh? You know what I mean? Will that Flight Sim enthusiast zoodie design be coming out in a t-shirt? I don't know. Hopefully. Anyway, we'll see. Books, not books. No, it's a Dublin thing. Books. If Zith is here, he'll say they're books, not books, right? But anyway, Coastal. Hello there. Chris Van Halen, good to see you. Is it Look or Luke? Look out. No, it's Look. You know, an anonymous gifter had gifted a subscription to Got Friends. Well, thank you very much indeed. Cheers. Right. Coastal Flying presents a unique set of rewards for virtual pilots. With that in mind, Orbx have published a new destination that targets this exact experience. Developed by indie creator Andreas Heggie, McKinnon St. Simons Island Airport, brings the Georgia coast to Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Very popular here with like general aviation, but also the business jets. So, the developer has a track record challenging airports like Diamond Point Airstrip was already released, and according to the release notes, the scenery integrates directly into the local photogrammetry. We do have a video that I'm going to show, and this time I have to play my own music. I keep getting in trouble. They keep giving out to me. So, that kind of works. Let's go with it. Let's keep that thing going, look. It's also important, I know if you hit pause and rewind the stream. Very fancy. So yeah, anyone who paused like when they were going through the swimming pool, I know who it was. Just know, right? Just know. But anyway, it's a brand new scenery from Orbx, priced just under $20 and it's available right now. I might grab it to check it out maybe next week. It does look nice. And Georgia, the coast of Georgia. Do you know what I mean? Pitch there now. So that's available right now. A scenery we're checking out tonight, Cloudberry Creations. They've released London Oxford Airport for Flight Sim 24. The one-man band that makes up new scenery developer Cloudberry Creations have released the very first product for Flight Sim 2024, and it's that of London Oxford Kidlington Airport, Echo Golf Tango Kilo. The busy airport in the Oxfordshire countryside is home to a number of flight schools, business jets and operators, and it was even a previous RAF base. A number of professional pilots in the UK will no doubt have visited Oxford at some stage in their career for either ground-based training or in their aircraft for flight-based manoeuvres. Ooh. Cloudberry Creations' representation of the airport includes an up-to-date airfield layout, custom textures and models representing major buildings on the site, including the recent construction work at the airport, such as the new Airbus hangar. Additionally, hand-placed vegetation and road markings bring the surrounding airport to life, and it's all inside the refined LOD system. Right, so I'm going to be checking this one out tonight. It's available right now over on the developer's website, and I think they're pushing it to other locations as well. It's very pretty. It's just a nice GA kind of an airport. Kind of gives you like Burning Blue design vibes. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll be checking this one out on the stream here this evening. So more on that in a moment. Now, Navigraph Scratchpads. Finally, they have released Scratchpads for Navigraph charts. Now, we're going to be checking this out tonight. I'm going to show you how to use it, right? And basically what it is, it gives you the option to have like little notes, little pages on your tablet or even in the app itself to write down critical information, specifically when it comes to ATC or maybe taxi instructions or even just notes for your flight plan. Dead handy. And we've been waiting ages for this, right? Ages and ages. Navigraph were talking about this 2 years ago. And it was something that was requested from the community, in which you can do over on the Navigraph forums. It's finally released. And what we have here, when I'll show it in a while, we've lots of different templates that we can use, such as craft. We can look at our departure and arrival ATIS. We can look at other bits and bobs as well. Very, very cool stuff. We can use this with, Apple Pencil or, stylus pens or whatever they are if you're using a tablet, or indeed your keyboard and mouse if you wish to use those as well. Anyone who uses a tablet as an EFB or, your Navigraph charts, I know for me, one of the main reasons why, I've looked to external EFBs was usually down to this. I can write stuff in, and while Pocket Sky has it, SayIntentions have that included with Pocket Sky. It's multiple screens. If you're on the page where you're looking at your charts, you might say, well, I can write this stuff down now. With Pocket Sky, you're very much dealing with ATC, which that's pretty much where you do it. I mean, you look at most pilots, even in the real world, they'll have charts on one page, right, and then they're writing their notes on another. So it's user preference here, right? Both services are, of course, subscription. Navigraph is a subscription, and we also have SayIntentions as a subscription. Now, SayIntentions added this feature some time ago, and well, it works flawlessly. It just works, right? You click on your notes on the Pocket Sky app, and you have access to all of this. Dead handy, right? We know what craft stands for. Yes. Which Navigraph will get on with? The measuring tool. Yes. Apple Pencil, right? But it is great to see this finally now inside a Navigraph for anyone who uses, these pencils and whatnot, because it makes Greta happy. You're not using all these paper charts and stuff. But as I said, it's not new to flight simmers. I mean, we've seen this on external ForeFlight, Skydeem, they all have it. And then SayIntentions brought it in specifically for flight simmers using Pocket Sky. Now Navigraph have brought it in inside of the charts app. There are one or two little limitations with it. Certainly feedback that I'd say, hey, we want to be doing this. But it's important to note it's all part of the of your active subscription with Navigraph. Do you know what I mean? So if you're on the fence or you're thinking about picking up Navigraph, well, they're giving away 1 month free for new users. If you register with Navigraph and you sign up as a new account, you can get yourself 1 month absolutely free. And I have a code here I'll share with you in the chat if you'd like to avail of that, because I have it hidden over here. Where did I hide this now? Here we go. So there's a promo code. I'll just copy this. You can pop it into your browser. If you want to sign up with Navigraph, you can subscribe, and you can go month by month or whatever kind of suits you. You will get 1 month free, but it's for new users only. It's a promotion that they're running when it comes to the release of Scratchpads. This is something that's very much it was wanted hugely when it came to Navigraph products. It's great to see it here now. So we're going to check this out in a little while. We'll go through it, show you how it works and all the jazz. But it's great stuff. This is great news for Navigraph subscribers, do you know? Now, this is interesting. Master your next approach with Metar.cloud's intuitive runway wind analysis. This is pretty cool looking, right? So what we have here, the pre-flight phase in Flight Sim sometimes requires some switching between the cockpit and various weather websites. While the sim provides its own live weather, many simmers often need real-world ground truth to plan their arrivals and choose the correct runways. We featured some Metar decoding utilities before. Again, SayIntentions has all this built into it. Navigraph has it there as well. You can track the weather and they decode meters for you. But this kind of stuff goes a little bit further. What we have here with Metar.cloud, they expand on that because they give you a visual look of what's actually happening, and they kind of, put it back into similar weather apps that you might be familiar with. So what we can look at here, they'll give you a visualization of the, where the wind is over whatever runways. They'll also give you the wind components, let you know if it's a tailwind or, a headwind. They'll also give you the conditions, the cloud layers, and then you get the raw METAR. So there's a lot of cool information here, right? And you can visualize the approach completely. The focus is on the user experience. Arthur's track record with Cabby shows a focus on making the flight sim experience more accessible. The new tool follows the path by being completely free. This is completely free, right? What we have here, the developer has also released native apps for iOS and Android, and the apps support offline functionality, meaning that you can keep your weather data on a tablet or phone next to your flight deck without needing to maintain an active resource-heavy browser tab, right? So beyond the current weather, the platform also includes weather history feature, which allows you to look back at how conditions have changed over time. If the weather at your destination is below landing minimums, the interactive map will help you find a nearby alternate. So definitely worth a look. I'll click on it and share it with you here, lads. And again, if we have a quick look at the website, if we were to zoom in, we'll get some METAR reports here for Ireland. And what are we getting? Shannon, so VF4. This is the layout in Shannon. This is based on the raw METAR. So we can see winds 150, 13 knots, few clouds, broken clouds, 10 degrees, QNH 1011 with no significant change. And we can get this as an app as well. Pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Wind direction telling us, well, look, here's our main runways. That's the direction of the wind. It's an easy kind of visual cue of what's going on. You can also look at the forecast, right? So this is what's happening. And it gives you a great idea and how far, you can look at. So we're looking at today. This is what the TAF is telling us what the weather is going to do. So it's currently VF4. It's going to change to marginal VF4. Then there's rain, bit more wind coming in. It turns into purely IF4, and then they'll start kind of clearing up again tomorrow morning. And you can see just by these graphs, just visually, you can see, well, look, it's going to get windier. Visibility is going to drop, and the ceiling is going to get higher in the morning. It's very, very good. Do you know what I mean? Hey, Foxfly is here. I used this today for a real world flight. Yeah. It's pretty cool, man. Sunrise, sunset times, and again, everything's there if you want to pop it on your phone. It works on iOS and Android. And it's free, lads, right? You can also have a look at some nearby airports, what's happening there. Kerry, Cork, Knock. Cork is going to be interesting. That's what our lesson tomorrow is. We're actually studying airports and understanding what the signage is, taxiway speeds, the pattern, all the sort of jazz. That's with our Thursday daytime stream. We're going to focus on Cork Airport tomorrow, only because it's a default scenery in the sim now. But also, it's fairly detailed. So that's what we're going to do. So have a look at that website, lads. I think this is very good. You can pop it on your phone, and this is giving you like real world data. It's not like coming from the sim. This is giving you real world meteorological data, which is very handy to have. Even if you're planning, if you're going outside, what's the weather going to be doing at these airports? Jesus, there's rain on the way. It's going to get windy. Look, you can see it instantly without having to worry about, rising slowly. All this kind of stuff with the weather, right? So do check it out. So yeah, great stuff there. Now, SoFly, they've made an update to Aerotone, a standalone edition, and it adds cockpit integrated ATC controls. So the immersion gap in the flight sim, often comes down to how a pilot interacts with their tools. With the latest update to Aerotone, well, SoFly is attempting to close the gap by moving the control scheme from a panel directly onto the aircraft's physical knobs and radio frequencies. This release also marks a change in how the product is offered to the community. By introducing aircraft and ATC additions, the developer is acknowledging that many simmers prefer specialized tools rather than a complete audio overhaul. Some may not, or some may only want the Echo 19 source engine sounds, while others will seek the regional chatter to fill the silence on long hauls. This modularity allows for a lower entry price, which places the tool in a more competitive position against specialized sound packs from other developers. So beyond the pricing changes, the technical focus of version 1.1 addresses a long-standing request for better geographical accuracy. The new system breaks down audio regions to a country level. This means you should hear local accents and languages that match your current position, such as German voices when flying over Germany. The developers say that this dynamic facility audio helps the simulation feel more grounded. One of the more practical additions is the use of the 122.8 frequency as a toggle for the ATC chatter. It allows pilots to activate or deactivate the background noise without opening a menu, which is a step toward a more cohesive cockpit experience. For those who fly on networks like VATSIM, the system now automatically mutes when it detects an online frequency to prevent overlap. Pretty cool, right? So we have the aircraft edition. The version includes the aircraft sounds and profiles created by Echo 19, focusing on the mechanical and environmental audio of the plane itself. Then we have the ATC edition, which focuses entirely on the ATC background chatter, regionalization, and new radio controlled volume features. Now, it's important to note you can't interact with the ATC. It's literally background chatting, but it's region based. That's pretty cool. Echo 19, the sounds he's done for this is brilliant. People always ask me, you know, Murph, what's the difference? Why would you go with Aerotone versus, we say, FS Realistic? I think Aerotone has positioned itself primarily as the console solution, right? Because you can't get FS Realistic on console, so you can on console. You can with this, but also it depends. It's a more easier, like you can save aircraft profiles. You know, there's certain sounds you can turn on and off. FS Realistic does have the sounds, which I find are way too much. I end up turning half of them off. But FS Realistic has the advantages, of course, of, you know, turbulence and shakes and vibrations and all this. It's a great bit of kit, right? But this is interesting to see. So great work from SoFly on that. Now, coming up at Flight Sim Weekend, will MobiFlight are offering interactive workshop stations over the weekend when they get to the Netherlands. So they're returning to FS Weekend with an interactive workshop designed for anyone looking to get deeper into cockpit building. I remember seeing these before. I mean, literally they'll hand out like chips, microchips, and like little circuits, and you build your own little instruments. It's pretty cool, the stuff you can learn. For a limited time ahead of the show, attendees can secure their spot with a pre-registration ticket price of €79, offering a €10 discount compared to the standard walk-up price. And it's going to be hosted on Saturday and Sunday, and the workshop runs for about 75 minutes, and it's open to all skill levels. And you will actually be able to sit down and build something from scratch. It's pretty cool. Heisenberg says, yes, I did this at Expo last year. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, people were, you know, some of the stuff I saw, they built a small little digital screen for numbers, right? Someone else built like just a switch for like lights or there was one there for lights, but then they had another switch that was a stage, so they're able to use that for flaps. They're just making their own little components, wire them into a USB. They can put little LED lights on them. It's pretty cool, right? So you can kind of see this kind of stuff here. These panels that people can make. They can make anything like. It's absolutely class. So be sure to check that one out. If you're going to FS Weekend, that's definitely worth a shout. And if you book early, you save yourself a tenner, right? Well worth it. But, Jesus! Me heart! I nearly fell off my chair! IniBuilds! Did you just see what they did? They terrified us all. We were sitting here all calmly and then it all got loud. IniBuilds official gifting 50 subs to the community. Holy moly, thank you very, very much indeed. Lads, if you just got a tier 1 sub with thanks to IniBuilds, well, do be sure to say thank you. That is incredible support. Absolutely nuts. We're going to be checking out, previewing Hong Kong here now in just a few moments. But thank you so very, very much indeed, guys. That's incredible. Epic says, you wouldn't download a cockpit after Flight Sim Weekend and you'll make it yourself. Right? Do you know? IniBuilds, absolutely incredible support, lads. Thank you very, very much indeed. Legendary. Lads, if you got one, do be sure to say thank you to the awesomeness that is IniBuilds official. Brilliant. But yeah, we're going to be checking out Hong Kong here now in a few moments. Can't wait. I found something already. I'm like, brilliant. It has one of these. Do you know? So yeah, awesome stuff. Now, news here specifically for MSFSaddons.com. We got something new. And I want to talk to you about it before we're like, hey, this is right. So MSFSaddons.com, they're introducing a new feature to their website, and it's called Captain's Club. The Captain's Club. And the idea behind it is it directly supports MSFSaddons.com, but you also then get rewarded, right? You've access to certain rewards, and pretty much your support to MSFS add-ons, well, it pretty much pays for itself with the rewards that you get. And we'll talk about that, right? So here we go, says Vasco. They've launched the Captain's Club, a membership that lets you support the daily work of MSFSaddons.com, bringing you the latest updates for Microsoft Flight Sim community. And in return, well, they're going to offer discounts from partner developers across the industry, a cleaner website with fewer ads, and a live curated feed of micro news that we're calling the Captain's Scope. Now, with the membership, you're directly supporting independent flight sim media in a world of sponsored content and algorithm chaos. Now, it's terribly important. I need to say this. This is shocking important. This does not mean you lose access to MSFSaddons.com. Not at all. You still get the latest up-to-date news and articles when it comes to, Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is just an option for those who'd like that kind of, more inclusion, and they want to support the work that Vasco does, right? So don't think, they're putting it behind a paywall. They're absolutely not. It's not behind a paywall, right? So what do you get? It's $3.99 a month or $39.99 a year. And, for a lot of folks, it's a no-brainer when you look at some of the features and the discounts from the partners who have signed up, right? Now, Vasco goes in, he explains the algorithm, right? Things have been weird on the internet lately. Search engines seem less useful. Social media platforms are increasingly hostile to external links. And finding what you're looking for around a very specific niche is, well, it's a chore, right? A few years ago, just when Microsoft Flight Sim was launching in 2020, Vasco decided to bet against it. And he bet that if he built a reliable daily home for Microsoft Flight Sim for the community, we'd keep coming back. And, well, we did, right? We did. Over the past 12 months, over 1 million simmers have used MSFS add-ons to check out the latest news. But a stat that he's most proud of, 30% come directly. So you don't find us through search engines or social media. They actually type in msfsaddons.com, which is pretty cool, right? So we've seen many sites retreat behind paywalls, hiding their coverage behind a fee. It's sad that rigorous information is being locked away. So they're doing things differently. The core of MSFS add-ons remains completely free. The daily news, popular aircraft lists, industry analysis, interviews, the whole shebang, it's still there. If you don't want to pay to join the Captain's Club, the site is just as it was today, as it will be tomorrow. However, for these power users, the ones who visit us every morning with their coffee, well, we've built something a bit better as a thank you for the support. So what do you get? If you sign up to this, what do you get? Well, cleaner website, less ads and whatever else, so the experience picks up, right? But you also get 15% off at the Contrail store, 10% off SayIntentions, and a monthly captain's gift from the legend at Got Friends, right? And that's just a start, which is pretty cool. So the Flight Sim world moves fast between Discord leaks, minor patches, forum conversations. It's impossible to keep up. So the Captain's Scope is now a direct view into the daily research. It's a live curated feed of micro news that they find during the daily rounds. And then they kind of build it up and then it goes into an article. But if you want to be looking for headlines or just keeping up to date with, like, someone said this about your man, that's where you get it. All right. So, it's there as an option, just to let everyone know. It's not a requirement. Vasco is not saying, hey, I'm packing up my shop and I'm putting it behind a paywall. So there is an article there. I wanted to just tell you about it. Do you know? So Vasco says, folks, I see this basically as a fancier buy me a coffee button. Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So anyone who's interested in doing that, ramble on over to msfsaddons.com. You can see where you can log in, and then you can have a monthly charge, or you can go for a yearly charge. It's up to you. But how this works, I mean, consider this. If you buy like an add-on a month, if you're a user that buys one add-on a month, Well, the savings you're going to get here, be it a Contrail or Say Intentions, and then even a monthly captain's gift, which is going to pay for itself. Do you know what I mean? But the important thing to note, it's not a requirement. It's just not a requirement. So, yeah, great. So, Vasco, the very best of luck with it, buddy. And fantastic stuff, man. It's great to see, because like when you think about it, right, there's so many areas around our hobby where there's news or bits of news, or, you know what I mean? It's great to find a lot of it in one area, you know. And in my case, I find it in two areas because, well, that's just the world we live in. There's two areas, and the guys cover different things, which I like. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, big news. Very, very big news, and the very best of luck with Vasco. You know, the very best of luck. So head on over to MSFSaddons.com, lads, and, well, if you sign up for 1 month, do you know what I mean? So, right. Yeah, Energizer. It's not a $30 cup of coffee. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So, great stuff there. Now, 2020 saw a little release, a patch note, stability patch, that was released the other day. 1.39.12.0 has now been deployed for Flight Sim 2020, and it carries on from the Sim Update 16. Indicates the development team is still paying attention to what's happening on the older platform. Targeted fixes for PC and Xbox. Specifically, there was a fix for pilots that had a crash at boot that was affecting users with NVIDIA hardware. It's also a very specific fix for those flying in Oceania. The developer saying that the empty vector shapes are corrupting GPU memory. Other fixes there went into, you know, the World Update 12 and a couple of small little patches. Nothing major. The Sim Update 16 did more of the heavy lifting. It's more quality of life updates we're seeing for 2020. Great to see it though, right? The Sim is she's still running. When it comes to 2024, there's been, you know, a couple of betas now released for 2024 for Sim Update 5, and what we're seeing happening. Most recently, there was a patch that went out for the beta. Something got broken, right? But we're seeing improvements heavily focused on the EFB and also on the 737 MAX 8. That's the Asobo aircraft. So there's EFB and VNAV overhaul updates going into Sim Update 5, at least right now. There's also aircraft fixes. There's a lot of career mode fixes. And there's also fixes going into the likes of Blender and Wasm and all this kind of stuff. So again, Sim Update 5 looks to be another stability patch. And I think we'll all agree, keep them coming. The more, and I think for most of us, leave multiplayer out of the conversation for a minute. I think for most of us, Sim Update 4 is excellent, right? The Sim is now at a very strong place. We're flying more. We're investing time in add-ons and exploring. We're flying the Sim more because it's stable, right? Multiplayer is its own headache and can of worms, and Jesus, we need to fix that at some stage. But with Sim Update 5, it appears to be more of the same. More stability, more efficiency. That's only a good thing. So, yeah, great to see what they're working on, and let's see what happens. Do you know? Especially with the latest release driver, not the broken one. Yeah, 100%. Bug fix has gone in there as well. Like, there's tons of updates there, which is great to see. So, yeah, great stuff from Microsoft and Asobo. Keep them coming. I'm all for stability. You make the Sim stable, people start bringing add-ons to the Sim because it's not hardship for them. You know what I mean? So, great news there. Now, news of X-Plane Tierware. Is it Tierware or Tierware Designs? St. Pete Clearwater has been released for X-Plane 12. Now, St. Petersburg, Clearwater in Florida, this is absolutely gorgeous part of the world. It's a stunning part of the world, and it's great to see their rendition of it now in X-Plane 12. So it's about 10 miles east of Tampa Bay, the gateway to Tampa Bay for carriers like Allegiant, private planes and executive jets. The developer, no stranger to the world of X-Plane, having released a number of high-quality freeware airports, including Atlanta Motor Speedway, Knoxville Downtown, Buffalo Niagara, Augusta Regional, and so on. They've made some pretty nice sceneries. This one here looks superb. And, well, you're down in Florida neck of the woods. You can't go wrong with that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, great to see some airports appearing now down in Florida. So it's available right now. You can pick it up over in the xplaneorg.store. It's €13.54, about $16 or about £11.80, and it's available right now. All right. So over to Say Intentions. So some stuff, right? when you look at SayIntentions, I asked this question last week because we're kind of going through the setup of it and how do we get it working and all. And I was saying, is there anyone kind of struggling understanding all the features, or are you aware that they actually have a feature for this? And then more importantly, if there's a feature, well, how do we interact, or how can we, change the feature? So that's what our notes last week pretty much came out, because it focuses on the AI crew. Now people say, yeah, you got AI crew. Yeah, I know we've got AI crew. Do you actually know what they can do? So when we talk about AI crew, and like this is kind of aimed at the entourage customers, but also those who have the main subscription to SayIntentions. So when we're talking about your AI crew, well, what do we have? Well, we have co-pilots, right? So your co-pilot, they can do things like looking after your radios, right? You file your flight plan, you give your co-pilot a shout and say, hey, can you look after all the radios for me? I just want to fly. They will look after all the radios. They'll get your clearance, they'll get your pushback, they'll get your taxi, your takeoff clearance, your en route. They'll get everything, and then they'll tell you what's going on. So it's a great way to learn kind of the flows. You focus on the flying, but you're listening what's going on. That's a great way of learning, right? But they can do more than that because you have checklists. Now, checklists, for most, I don't want to bother with checklists. However, the reality is, real world flying, you don't do nothing without a checklist. Nothing in aviation happens without a checklist somewhere, right? So learning that and getting your brain into that mode of, right, okay, there's flows here that have to be done. Checklists need to be done. All right, well, where do we start with checklists? Now, you can have checklists that are specific to an aircraft. You can have checklists specific to a virtual airline, right? Make sure you comb your head hair to the left, right? You can create your own checklists, and you can do it in such a way that your co-pilot will call them out, as in challenge you, right? Park and brake, set. And then they move on to the next one. They'll just call out the check items, or your co-pilot can do them for you. You can actually set it up in such a way that, hey, I want you to fly the plane for me, pretty much. And you can do that with the PMDG 737. Your co-pilot can interact with the systems of that aircraft. Your takeoff, positive rate, gear up. He'll put up the gear, or she'll put up the, whoever your co-pilot is, they will put up the gear. Turn off the lights, reset altimeter, flaps up. They can do all of these things. It's very, very immersive. There's other products out there that do it, FS2 Crew and whatnot. These do it now. It's all built within the same subscription, which is, I've always said, it's far more than ATC.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Thank you, Mr. Dan. So just to be aware, all of that is there. And then it goes beyond your co-pilots and checklists. You have a cabin crew. And you might say, okay, cabin crew is good at crack because, yes, you can get that authentic level where they're using, different audio packs. You can upload your own, right? So, like if you wanted, you can have our Firefly Air safety demo, or you can grab the real world ones and pop them in there. They'll play them, right? But your cabin crew, there's a lot more going on than just, Jemima, get us an old cup of coffee. They're giving you critical information about all things during the flight. Plus, you have chaos mode. If you want to have that simulation of, well, the passengers, they're alive, things can happen. We have there's a passenger feeling unwell. We need to land now. That could come from your cabin. And now you're in an environment within, SayIntentions, that you can now, declare an emergency and no one's going to give out to you. Do you know what I mean? It's a wonderful way for learning and experiencing these things without having to be on VATSIM, like what we saw, into Heathrow and two lads declaring emergencies. Do you know what I mean? This is where you can do it. And that's only one, right? That's only one. The tour guide, which we use the tour guide all the time. It's either going to be me or it's going to be OzFlight. And they do actually teach you stuff. They're telling you stuff that's there, which is interesting. It's always a nice feature. And you also have the tour guide tuner, or the tour tuner. So for example, it's in your pilot portal. You can go in, and we'll dive into this stuff soon. But remember Sarah, right? Right. But anyway, with your tour guide or your tour tuner, you can predefine your route, right? And you can also provide additional information to certain landmarks. It's very similar. Do you remember like Bush Talk Radio? This is very, very similar. You can say, hey, when we fly to this point, this is what we want to talk about. For instance, we could be flying in Ireland and we're going to go up to, RD. When we overfly RD, I want the tour guide to say, we're now flying over RD, and there's Muse Fan in his back garden with his shirt off. Right, you can do these sort of things. maybe not do that, but you get the idea. Or, you know, it can be a great study guide. Let's say, for example, you want to go exploring, I don't know, you want to fly across, you know, northern France, Normandy. Well, you can actually provide a lot of information into SayIntentions to say, hey, I want to follow, you know, what the 101st did here. These are all the little waypoints. Talk to me about it. They'll talk back to you then. It's a great way of learning the stuff. Think of it like almost like an audiobook, right? Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. And then we have the mentors. Now, when it comes to mentors, again, if there's anything you're not sure on in the aircraft, now they're not necessarily going to like take over and I'll do it for you. But if you're asking things like, hey, how am I going to, like, how do I calculate my top of descent? How do I calculate the distance? How can I do dead reckoning? If you're flying along in a flight sim session with a question that I need someone to, how do you do this? You can talk to your mentor. They'll actually tell you what's going on. They'll provide you with the information. It's class. And you can pick whatever character you want to be your mentor as well. Which is just, it sounds like FS Passengers, very similar to it, very, very similar to it. It's almost like this is the next iteration of it. The mentor stuff is great. I mean, if you're, prime example, if I'm in the Phoenix, right, and, you know, how do I set up a hold in an A320 using an MCDU? They start talking me through it. Go to this, press that key, this is what you're looking for, check, like, it's mad. It's really, really good, right? Then you have ground crew. And a lot of people don't know about ground crew. Your ground crew with SayIntentions can coordinate your pushbacks. They can call for fuel, request jetways through natural voice commands. You simply tune your radio to the ramp and you request what you need. So you can call your pushback. They'll give you a pushback. You can say, I need this stand. I need fuel. And it's interacting. And SayIntentions can inject objects and you know, stuff into your flight sim. We've seen it with birds. Birds, they can inject birds in. Absolutely brilliant, right? So with all of these, you know, we also have these FAQ documents and they explain in more detail what they are. Some people prefer reading the long tutorial stuff, right? So how do you enable it? What do you do? When you're ready at the gate, make a request to the ramp team. For example, flight deck to ground, please connect the tug at gate 4. Tug connection, coordination with ATC. Once pushback begins, so before starting, it's good practice, check out ATC, push and start, right? And then disconnect. Then you can manage the jetway. So does this replace GSX is the question. Well, this does replace the pushback capability of GSX. It's not their intention to compete or displace GSX. GSX has dozens of features that SayIntentions are not planning to support. Highly detailed vehicle models, passengers walking, all this kind of stuff, right? But you get the idea. You can use SayIntentions to provide your pushback. And depending on how good the information is in that airport, you have access to what's called taxi tuner. So for example, at Dublin, you can say, right, they're going to give me a tug release point. TRPs, tug release point Charlie. Ah, Jesus. You can go into taxi tuner and literally top down map, point, boom. That's where that is. Then you're back in SayIntentions, push back to tug release point Bravo. It will bring you where you need to go. It's class, lads. So a lot of folks maybe weren't fully sure that they can do all of these things. And then you have Persona. Persona allows you to use your own voice as the lead flight attendant or the co-pilot or even the SkyOps rescue team. So you go into your settings, pilot portal settings, miscellaneous persona, create your character name, configure it, enable the persona master switch, and away you go. You can have your own voice as part of your crew. And absolutely brilliant. There's a new ATC Communications quick reference guide there as well. It's a fact sheet, or we call it the cheat sheet. You can go and have a look at it. What do you say at the various different points? We've done something similar, right? So that was all the update from last week. And we have this now as well. Click to talk. So this is something that Cyrus had asked for. He was saying, wouldn't it be great if you can like follow a menu because you couldn't, you know, talk for whatever reason. But they now have that. So you can click on these buttons. It'll, you know, read back, request, push and start, depending on what's going on with your flight. And there's drop down areas that you can select as well. So the idea was, you know, if you didn't want to be talking, you can now, you know, click and it'll do it as well. They've now opened that out to all SayIntentions subscribers. So if you're subscribed to SayIntentions, you now have that option. If it's not on by default, go into your pilot portal and you'll find it inside your pilot portal. All right. It's pretty cool though. And it works. It just works. Pilot portal settings, app UI, and then hide click to talk. It's also important here to note anything that's in the UI, you can actually go in and edit all of this in the Jesus. Then you can edit this over in your pilot portal. If you think there's too much clutter here, you can remove any of these tabs. Just go into your pilot, turn that off. You don't need to see that. You know what I mean? It's very, very user friendly now. What else do we have here? A lot of refinements made over the last couple of weeks as well. This is daily with SayIntentions. Like I was chatting to them the other day, and it's like, I think in that conversation there was like 5 updates. I'm looking at Discord going ping, ping, and they're just fixing this, added that feature, bug fix here. Like they're so accurate. They're accurate, but they're so active. They're so active when it comes to solving the world's problems when it comes to their own infrastructure. The custom cabin crew MP3 announcements are now available, meaning that you can upload your own audio, and it's pretty cool because you can have airline specific, and then once it's shared, it goes into your VA, your virtual airline. Everyone will then have the same sort of the boarding music, the safety demo, all the different triggers that come through it. It's all now available there as well, which is brilliant. Again, there's other add-ons you can get for this, and next thing, I have 20 add-ons all trying to do the one thing. SayIntentions does all of this, and a massive advantage, which I probably don't say enough, the vast majority of the heavy lifting, i.e. the computing and processing, it's done on their side. We're getting the end result. That's why performance works so well with this. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff. Lastly, the nominations for the upcoming Flight Sim Awards. SayIntentions were, of course, nominated. The voting, I think, has closed. But yeah, fingers crossed now we get a lot of coverage there for SayIntentions. So, brilliant stuff. Vector the Final, that was from a couple of days back. Every now and again, Brian will jump on. They'll have a chat, a full update. And yeah, looking forward to seeing the guys at... I think they'll be at FS Weekend in person, but I think they're going to be at FS Expo as well. So they're just doing incredible things, lads. But specifically to us, if anyone is struggling, right? If you're struggling anywhere, if you're under pressure, you can't figure it out, or it's just a headache, reach out to us on Discord. Reach out to me on Discord. I'll help you. I'm more than happy to help you along. And we'll see how we can kind of fix it, because I use this quite a lot and I love it. Absolutely love it, right? Right, moving on. Here we are now, back into the world of Flight Sim, and we have things to check out. So before we go with this machine, because our plan here, we're going to take off and go flying, I want to have a look at this brand new scenery. It's currently in development, not released yet. But IniBuilds, well, they're on it, and we should hopefully see it very, very soon. Sarah Doman, thank you very much indeed for 13 months. Cheers, buddy. Cornwolf is here. Good evening. Hope you're well, man. So what IniBuilds are putting together here, this is a scenery pack. It is that of Hong Kong Airport. They've also included a POI pack for Hong Kong. Hong Kong in the sim doesn't have any photogrammetry, so we're limited to what the sim can provide for us. But the airport at Hong Kong, it's massive. And what IniBuilds have done here, this is next level. Releasing Friday, sweet. So they're going to release this Friday. That's the plan, right? This is, I mean, you thought Dallas was big. This entire facility is huge. It is massive, and we're going to go. We're going to go for a walk around and check it all out and see what's here, what's available. All right. So Hong Kong, this is where we're at. So it is a hub, international Victor Hotel. It's in the final stages of development, and hopefully we can see from here what the crack is. It's a very important spot for IniBuilds because, well, some of their team are, they're based here, they've flown here, and they've, all this kind of stuff. So it does carry a deeper meaning for them. And what we've seen on, on the development shots from them, where they look at, the reference versus the render in the sim reference, like it's frightening, the accuracy. Like, it's not even like, oh yeah, it's frightening. No, they've nailed it, right? So, handcrafted ground textures, bespoke runway, apron and landside materials, true-to-life landside recreation with custom decals, veg and infrastructure, accurately modelled and positioned dynamic airport lighting, extensive collection of handcrafted buildings, vehicles and bespoke objects. They've even included, like, the construction site for the terminal, which is active at the moment as well, right? It includes a GSX profile, up-to-date airport layout reflecting the current real-world conditions, HD jetways with intricate detailing, Highly detailed terminal interiors and exterior structures, optimized LODs across all models for balanced performance, built using the latest 2024 SDK features, and it has the full INI manager compatibility, meaning that just like what we saw with Heathrow last week, you can turn off stuff that'll get you a lot of performance. But this thing runs so very, very well even as is. So it depends on your machine. The good news is you have the option to turn stuff down. So IniBuilds, I think, have nailed it when it comes to using this LOD, because how it works, what you can see is loaded in, and when you leave that area, it clears itself and then it loads in the next area. You know what I mean? Which is absolutely, well, it's brilliant. It just means then that you're able to achieve all of this detail, and the sim just thinks it's just loading into one scenery. Right, so it's pretty cool. So the layout of the airport, I mean, you can see that massive bridge way off there in the distance. We'll speed up the old dude here. Like, look at the layout even in here. The approach to the runways. Look at that road, and then like it tunnels. I didn't even know this was here in Hong Kong. Right, it's basically it goes out into the sea, then they come up for air again, and then they go back into sea. Isn't it only brilliant? Look. Like, you talk about massive engineering projects. That's absolutely cool. And the shape of it is done like a ship. That's awesome. And that continues on for miles, like miles and miles and miles. Look, you see it off up there on the left. There's more of it, look. Pretty cool. So, looking at this facility, this is where I found it earlier on. I was like, ah, brilliant. We're going to the mountains up here, because I saw something. I was like, oh, jeez, that's brilliant. So check it out. I was like, hang on, they've included these little cable car fellas, look. On the mountains. And then when you get this view over the far side from these cable cars, and we look at the view here, and then you will actually see that entire area, that massive like peninsula, that island, that's the airport, lads. All of that is the airport. What? It's huge.
Oh, jeez.
It's absolutely massive when you think about it. I mean, like, hang on, wait, what? Where's the city? Isn't it crazy? Look at the scale we're talking here, lads. It is absolutely massive. Huge road network coming into it. Mrs. GPHI is here. But isn't it absolutely huge? And we, again, you know, we got our main runways coming in. And like real world stuff, I mean, they have challenges here in the real world, as Big Al was saying, like stuff is sinking and they're rebuilding and they're constantly tweaking it and whatnot. But like the detail, it's shocking. And I love this. So over the radar, the golf ball radar, there's a helipad. So like, you know, when you see an airport of this scale, you're thinking, oh, sure, it's an airline or destination. Yeah, which it is. Of course it is. But they've included all these other bits and bobs that you can say, well, hang on. I can actually go exploring here. We can do some maintenance flights now in a chopper, getting around. You know, you can go to the bridge. There's a helipad down here at the golf ball. It's class. And we'll check out the night lighting and all this now in a moment. But when, you know, once we start moving in towards the airport and where things are, we got the fire training depot here, right? And again, like the attention to detail is just unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. Like the place is absolutely huge. They have all the building site stuff here. We got cranes, and at night time we'll see all these now in a moment. All the taxiways, the layout, the runway markings, the taxiway markings, everything's clear, right? And that's always the challenge. Like airports this big, you're thinking, how do I navigate around here? You know what I mean? Nice one, Heisenberg. 100%, dude. We'll check her out. It's like a camera on that, look. And that's before we even start looking at the, you know, different sceneries and whatnot. But look at the detail here. It's an old fence. This is the detail. Like, I don't know. Is that like, is it solar or what? But huge. So we'll ramble over. This is what they're building right now, and this is based on real world data. I mean, this is what they're building right now. So the terminal, the new terminal, is all being built, and you can kind of, you know, there's even an interior to that. You can see what they're building, right? Isn't that mad? Look. So that's the new stuff they're building. And again, just to give you an idea of scale, if you look over here at the first terminal on the left hand side, well, you can see where the new one is going in there. Like, massive, 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 massive. So we'll come on over here and we can look at a couple of different areas. So on these islands, as you're driving in, you can see where the road networks are. You can see them where you have parking. You know, there's buses and cars. Look at the tolls coming in or parking. Like, it's just, the scale of this, lads, is huge. It's massive, right? So as we go from like, okay, park your car or park the bus or whatever it is, we have all this building going on here. Beautiful architecture. Isn't it stunning? The shapes and all the stuff, like the detail here is absolutely savage. Beautiful. But once we come across then over the bridge or bridges, we're now entering to where the airport is. 11 skies. Is that like a go-kart? No, it's not. It looks like a go-kart track on the roof, isn't it? Is it still stinking in real life? Yeah, I think so. I think so. But like, you know, you look at the details at all the different levels. Isn't that something else? Look. And this is on top of the building. You know what I mean? But this is only, it only starts here, right? It only starts here. And we'll check it out at night time here now in a moment. Again, if you do see anything kind of weird or wonderful, it's not released yet. They're still working on it. I found an issue. There's cars floating. It's their Skodas. Listen. Hong Kong, they love Skodas. There is. Brilliant. Already the best scenery in the world, right? Just because they've Skodas. But let's ramble in here a little bit closer. We can get more of an idea. If the rail, look at that, man. Jesus. And then you kind of realize, well, hang on, look. There's interiors going on in here. It's like, what? Look at the scale and the scope of this place. It is massive. Like, it's huge, lads. Isn't that something else? And there's loads of these. As in, there's loads of terminals in this place. That's awesome. Hong Kong International. The world awaits. Isn't it unbelievable? So we'll ramble on in. If the usual stuff, all the check-in desks, look. Sky priority. Yeah, it's huge. Then we have the departure areas, security areas. One over here then. Like, the detail is absolutely nuts. Payphones. Do you remember? Are they still a thing? Are payphones still a thing? Do you know? Like, the ground textures and satellite terrain, I think whatever is default sim, it's the best data that's available. There's no photogrammetry here. Or no photogrammetry. Unfortunately, it's just, it's you'd wonder how, but the data must have been difficult to grab, you know what I mean? There's a 7-Eleven. Loads of people. We'll jump out this neck of the woods here, just get an idea where we are, right? And like, just have a look. I mean, look at the clutter on the ground, the amount of different vehicles and stuff. Like, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Like, the scale of this place. Look, imagine if you had to walk from this terminal over the, like, forget it, you know? Tell us you have copies to give away, Murph. Go on. There'll be something over on Discord. Do be sure you're on our Discord, lads. We'll be planning a giveaway for one of these soon, very soon. We'll do it at the end of it, right? Man, Gibbo. But yeah, once the scenery is released, we'll do a giveaway on our Discord. You know, I'll thank Gibbo now for that, lads. I was going to be miserable and mean and keep it for just me. But you get the idea. Like, it's massive. And the performance is so good because when you leave an area, it's unloaded. And then you go to the next area, it's loaded, right? Like, even the jetways, like, you look at the detail. Look at the detail on the jetways, look. That's savage, isn't it? Highly detailed. Brilliant. Let's go over to this, the sky tunnel. So planes do go under this, depending on the type of plane. But look, this is, oh, look at this. And we found the bar. Brilliant. Yeah. Hendrix, nothing like it. Jeez, the detailing in here, lads. Isn't it savage? I mean, that is absolutely class looking. Got travelators all over the place. You heard Murph's giving away a 5090 as well? Yeah, sure. I'm loving this, man. This is awesome. The sky deck. Is this the fancy place now? Look. Oh, look at the detail here, look. Jeez, that's fantastic, isn't it? I love this. You can properly explore the airport. I mean, what are the chances that I'm going to go to Hong Kong? Well, it's not on my immediate list of places to visit, but like, at least now I know what the crack is with the airport. It's huge. Bring comfortable footwear. More interior stuff over here, look. This is scale just on a different level. This place is massive. And I'm sure there's going to be loads of cool things to go and find and explore. Like, we're not even scratching the surface here. But what I want to look at here... Oh, look, we got some flags down here. Probably off the hotel. Let's go and check out some of the night lighting, shall we? Shall we check out the night lighting? See what happens here. Oh man, look at all the lights over there. Look at that. Savage. Oh, look at the lighting here. They know how to do lighting. Right. Look at that, lads. Isn't that only savage? Look. At the far side now.
Oh, Jesus.
Jeez, look at the lights up here, look. Look at the fancy lights they have. That's savage. That's class looking, isn't it? Look at the state of it, Jay. Look at the state of this. Come down to this level now. Just to get an idea of that lighting. Isn't that superb, look? That's probably the best I've seen so far. I love the little icicle lighting thingies, look. That's savage, isn't it? How long, like, you know what I mean? How long does it take to make this kind of stuff?
Jesus.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Chinese New Year decor. Even the surrounding buildings now, they're all starting to light up, look. This is absolutely insane, lads. The detail here. Look. How many control towers are there? A few, says you. All the interior. Look, these are all modelled. There must be miles of interior. Miles upon miles of interior. Vroom. Like, come on over here. Did I see a tower? I did. Ah, yes. The tower's modelled. Look. Ah, Jesus, Murphy, go handy. I'll tell you what to do. I'll slow down the guy. Oh, that thing is spinning. Look. Chunk. Ah, yeah. This is class. How does it affect the frames? It doesn't. There's so much going on. It's like, this isn't affecting frames. This is as butterly smooth. And if you move to an area like using a fast drone camera, you might see it kind of, you know, oh, you have to load this in. Look at this one now. This terminal is different. We'll zoom in. Man alive. Look at the textures on the tiles even, look. Murphy's losing his mind because of the tiles. I just think this is absolutely brilliant. The lighting's gorgeous, isn't it? Ah, Jesus, look at that. Look at the lighting. This is next level, IniBuilds. This is fantastic. I mean, I thought Baku was good. This is absolutely savage. It's huge. And the detail and the night lighting is just unbelievable. But it's not just the airport, and that's, you know, they're doing this landmark POI add-on with it as well, right? So where we are here at the airport, and it looks absolutely gorgeous at night time, and you've all these buildings out here, look, beautiful lighting. There's Cathay Pacific Cargo, look. I mean, look at the lighting there, look. And that's something else, isn't it? The detailing is just unbelievable. What's this one now? Smart gateway. I mean, look at the lighting here, look. Just even flying in here at night time, it's just beautiful. All the neon lights and stuff. But there's far more than that, right? I mean, yeah, we have the immediate area, all these custom buildings. There's Cathay Pacific offices, right? Hong Kong Airlines. So as I said, there's no photogrammetry, so they have to use kind of what's there. Let's just get an idea. Where's Hong Kong? There it is. Or Bangkok, rather. No, it's Hong Kong. Hong Kong City. Yeah. So you can see straight away what buildings are custom and what's not. And look at the lighting on them. Jesus. Look at this. That's deadly. Look at that, lads. I mean, another helipad, similar to what we have in Dubai, right? Isn't that brilliant? Hey, Cookie, thanks for that. That's absolutely class. That is brilliant. I'm loving this. This is brilliant. And this comes with the scenery. It's a free... As you mentioned last week, Hong Kong isn't just about the airport. This Hong Kong City POI, completely free when you purchase the scenery. Look at the detail on these buildings. It's landmark stuff, like, that's what you're after here. The lights, look. That's savage. There's more of them here, look. Jeez, the scale of this is ridiculous. Couldn't tell you what the sign says, but it looks lovely. Isn't that only deadly, look. All the advertisements on the buildings, look. Panasonic. This is epic. This is an epic scenery. Got more stuff over here. Oh, look at that over there, look. Jesus. That's gorgeous, look. It's like a ferry terminal, is it? Yeah. Clock tower. Look at that, lads. I love that, man. That is savage looking. Not brilliant, isn't it? That is deadly. That's just class. This is a great setup. The old Kai Tech. Where is that now in relation to this? Is that it there? It is there. That's friggin' Circle to Land is there. Is that right? Flight Sim 98. Look at that. Deadly, isn't it? Yeah, IniBuilds, will you do Dublin for us? Go on. That's absolutely awesome. Hang on, is it? The historic Star Ferry routes and ferry ports, right? Major Central District, Bank of China, Standard Chartered, all that. That's unbelievable. Yeah, it's top class stuff, isn't it? The old cars and stuff, look. That is it, yeah. It looks like it anyway. That's absolutely deadly. And it's kind of done in a way that, like, the cars and the vehicles and Jesus, you can go into that hangar. They reflect the time, right? Especially all the taxis out the front there. Huh? That's class, man. This is so well done. This is absolutely brilliant. So it's going to be released on Friday, lads. And I gotta say, this is a friggin' cracker. Jesus. Well done, IniBuilds. This is definitely a treat. The detail. And like, okay, daytime, there's no photogrammetry, so you are kind of stuck with like default buildings. But I mean, look, they look the part. And then when you mix them in with the IniBuilds models, which are just next level, you know, I think coming in here kind of maybe dusk, sunrise, sunset, or nighttime, just brilliant. But like, you can absolutely go exploring here. I love this. It's huge. Yeah, pretty cool. There we have it, lads. IniBuilds Hong Kong International, and they're also going to be releasing that this POI pack with it. We go back to the airport. It's absolutely class. Hey, Quackus here, good to see you. Ini are working with Samsung to make it cross compatible. Ooh, nice. Nice. Right, I left me plane somewhere at an airport. Was it down here? It was. Right, friends, here we are. And we go check out an airplane. We have a lot to cover yet tonight, but we'll check this one out. So this is the B25 from Aeroplane Heaven. We're going to take this for a quick jaunt here now in the moment. So great stuff from IniBuilds. Absolutely just unbelievably good, isn't it? Try Sim GFX. Fazali, yeah, I'll check it out soon, buddy. Yeah, 100%. So Aeroplane Heaven's B25J, the Mitchell bomber, has been released. And the sound set on this aircraft, of course, by Echo 19, and it's just the next stable release from Aeroplane Heaven. And the aircraft, it comes with the B25J as default, but they also included the B25B, specific to that of the Doolittle raids. All right, so you get a ton of liveries. There's a lot of kind of capabilities and features with the aircraft. We'll start off at the beginning, looking at the outside, because I think the modeling work here and texturing is bang on. I think Airplane Heaven have done a phenomenal job at this one. I think it looks great. I think the modeling looks super. Loads of detail there with the engine and the panels on the side and the, you know what I mean? Doesn't it look great? Bit of glass flickering. Bearing in mind, this was built for 2020, but it does work just fine in 2024. And certainly something that Airplane Heaven get a lot of stick over, to say, oh, your textures when you get up close, they're hard. Yeah, but like the answer always is, well, don't get too close. You know, it's a great way to answer it. But looking at the aircraft, I mean, you can see it's a total workhorse, this thing. We have all our gunner positions there. We have the options to turn the crew on or indeed off. I mean, look at the textures here. Look, that gorgeous, isn't it? It does have guns, but I don't think we can fire them. I've only gone kind of messing around with this today. But in terms of like exploring the aircraft, where everything is, how do we get in? So we have the doors open, and we can absolutely get in. Yep, you divil you. And here we are in the cockpit, right? And then if you wear the front gunner and aimer, right? Well, how you get into your position? You had to hunker down here, squeeze yourself in like that scene out of Ace Ventura, out of the back of the Rhino, and then you come on into this spot here, look. Mind your head. Yup! And now we're into this little station here. Isn't that mad, isn't it? That is tight. That is, like, how did they manage that, right? Like, our top gunner here, he's not too bad, even though it's enclosed like mad. But then getting into where the rest of the lads were, like, how do we even get to where they are? There wasn't an area that they could be, Johnny, yeah, I'll just go down past you. They were in like a separate compartment, because you have the bomb bay doors, and then you have the, you know, your mid gunners, and then at the very back, how'd you get down to him? What actually, how did this dibble manage to get in? Was there like a door behind him? Oh. How does the rear gunner get in? That's interesting. I need to look that one up. Couldn't tie it. Isn't it class looking? And it comes with a number of different liveries. This is class looking. I think they've done a great job. You know, he lives in there. Yeah. It's a secret. Okay. Like they're 0.5s, I think. So, yes, this thing absolutely looks the job, doesn't it? And you have all the different nose art and stuff. It's pretty cool, right? It just stays there for the whole war. Yeah. So inside the aircraft, well, what do we have? Similar to that of the Lancaster, we have this crew options station thingy. So this is where you can turn, you know, if you don't want your co-pilot sitting beside you, well, that's your button to get rid of them, right? So you have these options, which is nice to see. These control our doors. So all our access panels are now closed. We can get in and look at where the ammunition is. We also have a click spot on this. This is the armor. The armor shell, look. that protected the pilot and the co-pilot. Where's the click spot? It's up here, look. Not mad, isn't it? Now, areas back here, in terms of what's clickable, nothing really clickable back here. These guys are, but like circuit breakers and whatnot, I don't believe so. Tanks and all that are, yes, are different fuel tanks. Emergency controls, you can operate those. Rudder trim, of course, is there. What else do we have? Control locks, landing gear, and then we have our main engine stuff. So we're going to prep this machine for the bit of flying here now in a moment. Some usual kind of comfort creatures or creature comforts. We can turn on and off the yokes just to remove them out your way. So, right, we'll attempt to start this machine. It's also important to note the aircraft comes with a very good manual. And there's an addendum manual then for the B25B. So there's quite a lot going on with this machine.
Hello there.
The Lancaster, I think, was certainly one of the better releases from Aeroplane Heaven. I just thought they nailed it. This thing, I would nearly say in terms of the build and presentation, it's on par, even maybe slightly ahead in terms of how well everything is looking, right? I think it's very, very good. I think he's done a phenomenal job here. And having Echo 19 sounds there, it makes the aircraft more believable and just fun to fly. And we've loads of information. And then we have the B25B specific to the B25B. These are set up for the Doolittle raids. And even with the barrels, the gun barrels were replaced with like broomsticks so they wouldn't have the weight. That's all in there, right? That's all in there. So quick, how does one start this machine? Let's have a look. Boost pump, throttle, ignition, mixture, prop, mag, primer, energizer, starter. Engine start, cowl flaps open, booster pumps. Okay, so there's a bit of a switch to the right. Okay, so oil dilution switches, mag switches. Start uses 3 switches. Push the primer switch up for the right engine. Okay, right, let's see what this does. So we'll start off at the very beginning and let's see if we can get some power into this machine, shall we? So we got our battery, left and right. Make sure our sounds are good and loud here for us. Let me see here now. Position lights on. Oil dilution, we'll go right side first. And that's all looking good. We have prop anti-ice, torpedo director, nice. We can open and close the bomb bay doors on this as well, look. But we'll close this guy here. And then we can operate the bomb bay doors and stuff there in a moment. In terms of fuel, ignition, right hand side, go ahead and turn that on. Fuel bumps or fuel booster pumps on the right hand side coming alive. These are transfer pumps, don't need them. We also have an option here, if you want, you can put in some modern avionics. I haven't figured out how to turn these on yet, but you do have the option of modern avionics if you wanted them, and that comes with an autopilot. So the developer is thinking of the simmer. Great idea, right? So what are we trying to do here? We want to try and start this. So let me see, booster pump right, primer up, and then starter up. Am I forgetting something? Booster, starter. There we go. That's the left side, you muppet. Okay. Think now, Murphy. So the instructions say push it to up, and that'll start the right. So in this case, it seems to be the left. So if we push these down this way. Now, why didn't that start? It's not getting fuel. Let's have a quick look here now. So what are these? Cowl flaps, need to open them. Up the open. Oh, here's sounds. Good sounds. We need fuel. That's good, that's good, that's good. Oil dilution is grand. That's all looking grand. That's looking grand. Mixture. They're just friction handles. Is there like a fuel tank here? Tank to left wing. This is fuel transfer. We're not using fuel transfer. Okay, let's try that again. So, right side. Do you hear the sounds? Right, we'll do the left side. Can we open this one? Let me see. Left hand side. Okay, we're live on both sides, Murph. Oh, the sounds are good. Oh, brilliant. The sounds are awesome. Right. Let's have a listen to the sounds. Jesus. Mind your ears now. Yeah, the sounds are really good, aren't they? They're excellent. Right, to go flying this machine, I haven't a clue, but sure, we'll give it a blast. Let me see. Radar power on. Heater heat on for the crack. Position lights on. If we go over here now, landing lights on. Boosters are already on. Alright, let's see what happens. So, off the brakes. Small bit of power. I love the sounds, man. Now, where do we even have a runway? Look at the detail on this thing, lads. Isn't it gorgeous? Gust lock. Oh, hang on. Where's my gust lock? Ooh. What's that fella do? Here's the carb. Where's the gust lock? There's the gust lock. Thank you, Kazaki. That would have been hilarious. Right. This place is so big, I think we can Harrison Ford it, lads. What do you reckon? Is there a runway over there? Oh, there is. Let's go this way. Take off my carrier. Yeah, so the B25B, I mean, that's what they were built for, right? Dude, this scenery though, look. Right, we best close this window. There we go. Jeez, the airport is huge. We'll go this way, only because, well, we've massive runways. So flaps. Lots of flaps. She probably needs 20 flaps. Get ourselves lined up. It's very easy to maneuver on the ground as well, actually. All right, sit tight here, and let us see what happens. The power. All right, let's see what happens. Oh yeah, the sounds are good. Alright, airspeed live. Miles per hour. There's 40. Easy now. Loads of right rudder. Flipper on, you gotta see it. There's 70 miles an hour. I imagine she wants about 110. There's 90. 100. Oopsie daisy. Nose gear is off the ground. Oopsie daisy. Positive rate. Don't stall it now, you muppet. Alright, let's ignite the speed in. How do they get these off a carrier? The flyby sounds are really good, aren't they? That's very good. Alright, speed's looking a bit better. Easy now. Watch the RPM, bit of manifold pressure. Alright, go ahead and close the cowl flaps. Rear the lights. What do we think, lads? It's very pretty, isn't it? Sounds like the ones they fired up at Oshkosh. No way. Oh, this is pretty. This is very pretty. The B removed the tail gunner and 14 guns pointed towards for more strafing. Do a little raid further, remove material and guns. Yeah. Hear the sounds of it. That's awesome. That's very good. All the different camera positions, look. Deadly. What a machine this is. So there we have it, lads. The B25, does it get the seal of approval? It's heavy. It feels heavy. The power management is a bit awkward. Which means, you know, you're going to have to spend a bit of time learning it. Get our trim reset. Easy now. Trim is not as flexible, I suppose, as I'd like, but she's alright. Rudder trim is good. Alright, a little bit more to the right. Okay, so the bomb bay doors, look, we can open these up. Jesus. I mean, if you see that overhead, someone's having a bad day. Bad day. Look how good it looks. Isn't it fantastic looking? Well done, Aeroplane Heaven. I mean, lads, this is class. If you're on the fence about it, don't be on the fence about it. This is a really good aircraft from Aeroplane Heaven. And the sounds are absolutely brilliant. Isn't that class, isn't it? Catch 22, that's right, man. I think that's really good. Be cool if you could upload your own nose art for it. Well, I mean, I imagine you could, but not as a standalone thing, right? It looks beautiful. The reflections of it are gorgeous. Yeah, well done, Aeroplane Heaven. Absolutely brilliant. Right. There we have it, lads. The B25J, the Mitchell from Aeroplane Heaven. What an amazing aircraft. It's available right now. You can pick it up over on Orbx for around €28. 28 quid. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Great stuff there. Right. Now, we've another aircraft to show off next week. Our good old Palo buddy, Wambi, is working on stuff, but I didn't get enough time to learn it, so we can't do it today. But we'll continue on because I want to visit Key West. And this is the new release from MK Studios, right? So we're going to load in and just have a quick look at Key West. Just Flight is $21.99. Brilliant. Good stuff, Eamon. So Key West, it's a brand new release from MK Studios. And what do we have? Key West, more than just a vacation spot. It's a high-stakes operational environment. The airport famous for its relatively short 5,000-foot runway, which forces weight restrictions on larger aircraft and leaves no room for error. There's also a military base very close by. So let's go exploring. Right? I picked this up today. Spent a freaking fortune this week buying stuff. But that's the point, right? That's how this works. If there's add-ons you guys want to see, let me know. I'll go pick them up and show them off. So you don't kind of have to. First and foremost, I will MK Studios. Once I see perimeter fencing, I know you're onto something good. The ramp here is nice textures here. The runway textures are on point as well. We got a handful of static aircraft. What are the features here? So, well, high fidelity rendition of Key West International, high quality 3D models and textures, optimized terminal interiors, custom designed functional jetways with walkthrough feature, accurate lighting, custom approach runway and taxi lights, handcrafted taxiway signs, custom points of interest in close proximity, and animated ground elements and local fauna, including chickens. I'm liking this. I'm liking the LT hangars, look. When I saw this scenery release, it's like, I need to explore here. Jesus, the detail you're getting at some of these things now, look. Mad, Ted. Different hangars. Looks the part, doesn't it? There's Signature. Got a PC-12 parked up there, look. Look at the state of this. Like, right, it's a Praetor, but just wait. Just wait until you see that Phenom. Jesus. Right, Signature Aviation. The FBO. Oh, you can't go in? Oh, do you know what it is? It's walk-around mode. Alright, that makes sense. So you can go in, but you got to use walk-around mode. I'm not in walk-around mode. Hence, you know. Jeez, the detail here, lads. This is nice. Signature Aviation. So that's the FBO. There's chickens. There's chickens! Right. Seen it all now, lads. That's the car I drive on Saturdays. Jesus. This is nice. Got the parking of... Oh, what a beautiful part of the world, man. Look at this. The main airport side, we got parking down here, cop cars, the old fort, the main road. Isn't this beautiful? Like, what a destination to fly to. We're doing a flight here soon in TBM. This is just absolutely class. Fazali, thank you very much indeed. 4 months, buddy. Cheers, man. Yeah, look, this is really good. Look. Monroe County Sheriff. Tickets, departures. Alright. Let's ramble over because they do. I remember this. I remember seeing this sign. All the designs, the paintwork on the bollards, and chickens everywhere. What's up with that? Contra Republic Key West. Not deadly, isn't it? The colour for Cold St. Cuba. Alright, look, we do have an interior over here. Nice. MK Studios, these are the guys who brought us Dublin Airport. And I gotta say, I mean, this release, this looks absolutely incredible. Jesus, they've even modelled the jacks, look. You'll be waiting for a while there, Ted. Gibba went in ahead of you. Amuse is in trap 2. Adam's in trap 3. He's thinking about going in. Brilliant. Yeah, this is really like great interior. Loads of clutter underneath. Then jetways look fantastic. You can walk through the jetways. Isn't that what they said? Oh yes, this is very nice. Got the little condos. Muse. Oh yeah, man, that's real nice. The pool. Yeah, they've done a great job here, haven't they? Key West. It's an incredible look. The runway is short, look, and there's another challenge here because just back the road, there's a US Naval Air Station. So flying in and out of here, it can be a little bit tricky. But I think they've nailed it, haven't they? It looks gorgeous. Is there photogrammetry here? There is. Yeah, look at this, lads. This is class. Like a fuel depot, maybe? Like perimeter fencing the whole way around as well. Like, that's class. Where are all the old people? Is this where all the old people go? Oh, I don't think so. That's more like Key West. I don't actually know. I've heard, it's on my bucket list of places. I want to drive to Key. Now I can fly. I'd love drive down, fly back, maybe. Yeah, man, this is done really, really well. They've included a couple of landmarks around the airport as well. In addition to having photogrammetry, look, you got all these buildings here, the condos, hotels, all the kind of stuff. There's that Naval Air Station over the road, look. There's actually scenery for that as well, from another developer. Yeah, this is really nice. All the keys you visited. Why was here, Rhea? Margaritaville. Let's have a look at this. Signature Steve-O's old stomping grounds. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, the lighting here is... This is nice.
Hello there.
Very nice. Hello there. Yeah, nice lighting. Not IniBuilds lighting, but it's still nice, isn't it? The jetways look absolutely brilliant, I think. Let's go around this side. Oh, look, that's nice there, look. Sound effects are class, aren't they? We got the moon. Oh, come here. How did your eclipse go, lads? Did you get the owl eclipse in? You did. That's a full moon. Are they still waiting on the facilities? This is done really well. What's signature like at night time? Yeah, it is class looking, look. Yeah, very impressive from MK Studios, I gotta say. Although signature lights are turned off at night. Oh no, they're not, they're on. It's just dark. Terminal's way better. The lighting down here. I had to drive an hour or so out of town, in bed by 2 AM. No way! So this is from MK Studios, and it's Key West, and it's absolutely gorgeous. This is stunning. I will be flying in and out of here. What a great job. Any airport that has mixed GA and airliners, I'm always going to be a fan of. Bald Eagle, thank you very much indeed. Cheers, buddy. 35 months, man. Good evening. You just finished work. Great timing. See these? This is, I forget the actual name of it, but effectively what it is, think of this as like quicksand for aircraft. It's a soft membrane concrete kind of stuff, and the idea being is it's to stop an aircraft overrunning the runway. Because as they kind of, you know, drive into this with the wheels, it's designed to stop them. And seemingly it's extremely expensive to replace. And this is the first time I've actually seen it properly modelled in the sim. I've seen it before on other sceneries. I've never seen it properly modelled. It does go up in stages. It's not a ramp, so don't think, oh, it's a ramp. No, the second you hit this, it starts disintegrating and sinking. It's like a glue. There's a name for it, and it's on both sides of the runway. But the idea being is to stop the aircraft overrunning the runway, right? That's what that does. There's another pool. Jeez, that's mad. Look, a swimming pool literally by the airport. We need to go to Key West, lads. Very nice. Very, very nice indeed. So it's like the runoff. Yeah. No, ladies, MFS. No. Right, well done, MK Studios. I'm very impressed with this airport. I think they've done a great job here. And they have a lot of scenery already. This is one of their best. I think that's one of their best sceneries. They've included tons of these custom buildings as well. They've done a great job here. Cow Key, look. Well done to them. Dredger's Key, all the keys, look. Key West, Boca Chica Field. That's a naval air station. There is payware scenery for that as well. So, yeah. MK Studios, you can pick it up on Contrail, Orbx, Sim Market, and indeed IniBuilds, priced in and around $20 US. This is Key West by MK Studios. I bought mine over on IniBuilds this morning, and I'm very happy with my purchase because I just will be flying a TBM in and out of here, and then very soon, hopefully, a Phenom. I mean, look at the color of the water you get here. Like, it's beautiful flying down here, you know. And the road, there's a road. See this? There's actually a road the whole way down Key Largo. Like, you can drive this ocean road, it's called, all the way to Key West. And like the width of the road is literally the land. There's a couple of things disappeared here, but the road is there, I can assure you. There's a road all the way down. I would love to do that. Google it there, the drive to Key West, you'll see it. It's like you're driving in the ocean. It's gorgeous. And like, look at the colours here. Like, look at this state. Look at that. Isn't that unbelievable? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So we move on. We're heading over to Barbados now. Grantley Adams. Where is this now? This is up the road. TBPB. TBPB. Oh, yeah. Now, this scenery is from ImagineSim, right? So, let me see. Give it now a second to load in. And let's go in and have a look. So, ImagineSim, well, they gave us Dallas-Fort Worth back in the day, didn't they? We'll make a daytime here. It's a very long road. I would love to do that spin. I think it'd be absolutely brilliant. So ImagineSim, they've released its Barbados Grantley Adams Airport. The release follows on from just a number of previews a few weeks ago. American, JetBlue, Delta, Air Canada all serve North America, and then you have the Caribbean carriers looking flights further on into the Caribbean, right? Aer Lingus are flying here in April, are they? What do we know about it? The airport, both 2020 and 2024. ImagineSim promising fantastic performance, large number of airport buildings, enhanced custom-made hand-placed autogen, and custom nighttime lighting. Fluid usage, even a complex airline or complex utilizes ImagineSim's bespoke operations center, similar to what you see in the on the IniBuilds manager. You can turn things on or off, right? Where's this now? Graduated ground extremities, enhanced custom-made hand-placed surrounding autogen, trees, plants, and vegetations, stunning night lighting, and 10 square kilometer coverage of the airport area. Right. Well, I don't know. It's like, that's not great. Is that like a tile that didn't load or what? Like, surely we should have grass on that. Shouldn't there be grass on this? And things not floating? Maybe it didn't load right. It doesn't seem right, does it? But anyway, I digress. Let's ramble in and have a look. Tons of vehicles. Terminals, look at this. Are there interiors? Sorta. Hang on, is this actually right? Have I broke this? Oh, it looks about the same. Now, just to manage expectations, this is about 12 quid. Right? So it's not at the higher end, kind of $20 or so. This is cheaper, right? It's about 12 bucks. So when it comes to the interiors, there's not really interiors. It doesn't look bad. It's amazing now the gaps that are forming between what's absolutely become the standard versus, you know, what's coming behind it. You know what I mean? There's no grass here. There's something strange. There's something not right with the scenery, I'd say. No control tower interior. 12 bucks, too much. Well, I wouldn't say it's freeware. You know. Interesting. Like, there's enough around it. It's just, I don't know what I think about that, you know, the auto-gen and the scenery stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, like... You shouldn't see that sort of a lot. Like, I don't know, they feed that grass better stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Again, you've no photogrammetry here, which makes sense, and I suppose the satellite imagery for the island, you're going to be somewhat limited, which, looking down at it, we're somewhat limited, right? But, like... There's something... Oh, there is. There is stuff growing. There's no grass now. This is all fields. Is there, like, normal grass somewhere? Yeah, there is. So there's something not right at the airport. Whatever way they're after doing that, by not having grass there. I mean, that's why you're getting good performance. There's like nothing there. It's not doing anything. You know what I mean? Perimeter fencing is there. I mean, that's right. That's a good start. And there is a bit of trees around the place, but like, it's missing grass. That just shouldn't be the case. That's why you're getting good performance. Like, let's be, you know, let's be frank. Can I still be Murph? At the fire station? I would say this is very basic. Look, you can't even read that. What's the deal, lads? The ground textures here are not good. Straight away. The runway textures are alright. I mean, they're not terrible. Taxiway textures, they're not bad. Signage is okay, right? So there's a couple of pluses here. The building's layout and all that kind of jazz, and the clutter, it's not bad. It's not particularly great. There's no interiors, or, you know, there's no plexiglass or any of that kind of stuff. But it's not bad. I mean, at least... Oh, wait, that's pretty bad. I mean, that's what you... That's X-Plane scenery, like... What were you thinking there, lads? Ah, Jesus. Right. Like, there's default friggin' assets you could use for that. Yeah, that's a bit,
Hello there.
I'm getting close to saying it now. Who about this now? Rainbow, welcome in. Like, without having the grass, that's a problem. Because the grass would actually hide half of this crap. Now... I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. If anyone else has this scenery, if you can let me know, is this a Murphy problem? But like, you know, No, it's a 2020 or 2024. Like they're saying, they're trying to sell it as fantastic performance. And it is good performance, don't get me wrong. There is good performance here, sure, that, you know, there's no stutters or any of that. There's plenty of clutter around. I mean, there's enough to kind of be looking at. It's just the textures over here, like the grass. There is no grass. Do you know what I mean? If they just went and fixed the grass, this would be an awful lot better. Grantley Adams International Airport. More like friggin' Gomez Adams. Like it's right. Well, check out the old night lighting. Hey, Rylan, good to see you. Again, like this, as I said, this could be this could be a Murphy issue, and I'll give it reload later on. Like, there's certainly a lot going on at the airport. The night lighting is nice. I'll give them that. That's pretty good lighting. Like, there's loads of buildings and stuff, and the lighting is good. And at altitude, it looks absolutely fine, right? Small bit of LOD pop in, but nothing major.
Hello there.
In terms of like the terminal and seeing into it, nope, nothing. Zip, nada. Yeah, I don't know. Linvin, welcome in. It comes across as free. No, I wouldn't say it's freeware. I mean, like, I wouldn't say there's freeware projects that are better. Don't get me wrong, but like, it doesn't, like, to me, it's like, this isn't a freeware project. I mean, this, you know, work has gone into this. I think the grass is the biggest problem, because that like breaks it. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't want to see this sort of crap. And then, like, you know, the bushes. What's this crap? You know, I thought these days were gone. Yeah, I don't know. Cardboard trees. Yeah. There is nice lighting. You can kind of see. Like, it's weird with the terminal. It's kind of half plexi, half interior. It's kind of weird looking. I mean, it kind of works. Kind of works, you know? Jesus, when I saw this, I was like, oh, I have to get this. It's going to be class looking. I'm not entirely happy about that. Like, it's $12.99. Like, it's not huge money. Don't get me wrong. But I can't believe they shagged the grass. Like, that's something, like, it's actually harder to do that than not do it. You know what I mean? The night lighting is decent. I will give them that. I wouldn't recommend this unless you want to be flying in and out of Barbados. But like, in terms of like just an airport you want to buy to have, you know, I mean, that's, you can't have that crack. Like, you know, it said like twice on the release, it's like really good performance. Yeah, well, we know where you're getting great performance. You haven't included everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, the accuracy of the buildings, the layout, all that kind of jazz, that seems absolutely fine. The runway textures, taxiway textures, that's all fine. Loads of little bits and bobs around the airport, all the objects and stuff, well, that's all fine. But not having grass, I think that's an issue. Because here's the thing. We're so used to, now, not everyone's going to say, yeah, I need grass, but like, when you're looking down at that pixelated mess of horror versus somewhere that actually has it, it becomes a problem then, doesn't it? I'll change the season here just to be sure, No, nothing. There's no grass. And like, if we were to go to somewhere that had grass, you'll see the difference. Like, you see the difference straight away, right? Versus that. Right. Well, it'd be Janie.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm kind of let down with this one, lads. I'm not going to lie. Some areas are nice, but some are shocking bad. I expected better from ImagineSim. I just did. No, but what I'm saying is, without the grass, and how many times am I going to say ding? What I'm saying is, without having those things in place, you're exposing this sort of crap, and this is eyesore stuff. Because now you're trying to, well, what's this mess? You know what I mean? It's grand from altitude, but like you get down low enough and you're moving around, it doesn't seem right. It's like, hang on, this isn't even 2020. There's a single rock here. Then you have this crack going on with like hedges that are like 2D.
Can I get a refund?
This damages the scenery. Like straight away you're looking at this thinking quality. There's no quality. It takes away from it. Why would you want to take away from it? It's clear a lot of work has gone into it. But like, I mean, look out here. Look, that is shocking. That is not acceptable, lads. That's shocking. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll fix this, or it's a Murphy issue. Maybe it's a Murphy issue, and like, you know, if anyone else has this scenery, let me know. Because if it's just not working on my side, fair enough. Because if they have the grass, well then, like, that's a huge problem gone. Huge problem gone. But we'll wait and see. I want to like it. The layout is grand. The price is cheap and cheerful. Yes, you do get great performance. The night lighting is pretty. But just with some of the textures, the way the textures are exposed, like, there's no way. I would hate to think they saw this and thought, yeah, this is fine. That's totally fine. You know what I mean? Anyway, moving on. I'll reach out to them just to ask them, is that, lads, is that right? I really hope it's a Murphy issue, not a them issue. Right, we're heading over to the UK. Free flight. Don't hold back, Murph. I know, but like, do you know? Where am I looking for now? Oxfordshire. Jeez, it'll be a long time looking for this. Or will I? Where are we going? Echo Golf Tango Kilo. Asher was right beside it. And this is a brand new scenery from a brand new developer. That's interesting. Easy now. Load in the scenery. Very good. We'll park over here. Oh no, it's helicopter parking. Jesus. We'll park over here, look. I'm gonna go to daytime. Maybe they thought we had the best grass. No, I need to check out. I feel like, or simple as, they may not know how to add biome areas. No, they have. Or they've uploaded the wrong one. That's very possible. Very possible. Like, they've done great sceneries before. Like, that just doesn't add up. You know? But anyway, we'll see what happens. If it's a Murphy thing, 100% we'll be showing the scenery off again next week. Because, like, I'm not gonna be giving out to developers if I'm in the wrong. Absolutely not. Like, that's just not fair. But if they're wrong, well then, you know. Right. So, the one-man band, as we said, and it's known as Cloudberry Creations, and it's here of London Oxford Airport. So let's go exploring, shall we? So what do we have at the airport? Well, custom textures and models built to represent every major building on site, hand-built models to represent recent construction work, accurate apron appearance and layout designed to match the current 2025 layout, hand-placed taxi signs and new taxiways, hand-placed vegetation, parking and road markings, specially made construction areas representing the ongoing improvements, and a refined LOD system for every model. So this scenery is a brand new scenery, and you can pick it up for €11.99. Let's go exploring. I don't think I've ever been here before. Okay, we got... it's very burning blue design looking, isn't it? In terms of... yeah. Let's have a look. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful models there. Jet Center stuff. Airbus. All the choppers look. Jeez, that's class looking. They're hangars. Ooh. Let's go in and have a closer look. Nice textures there as well. Maybe not so much on that container. Fire station. London Oxford Airport. Yeah, this is pretty accurate. What I'm saying by accurate is in, you can see that the layout here is jeez, the detail here, look. The layout, it will be that of photo accuracy. We're looking good so far. Oxford Jet. Nice interiors, look. There's stuff on the wall. Flight Simulator 2, get in there. Sublogic, look. Jesus. And I mean, that's what we used to have to fly with, lads. You know. That's pretty cool. Okay. Into the tower. They've modelled the tower. Nice. Hey, this is all nice, isn't it? Textures on the old glass. Coffee's on. It's a big enough place, isn't it? Cargo buildings, training buildings probably. We got some more hangars here. Oh, look at that. CAE are here? Aren't they the Ordnance Survey guys, or is that a flight school? CAE. Maybe it's a flight school. This is pretty. For a first time release, this is very nice. It's very near Blenheim Place, Churchill's ancestry home. Oh, right. Is there any Skodas? I've yet to see one, Al. It's not looking good, Al. This may not get the seal of approval. I do like all this, though. Look. Like the layout, signage, that's very good. Terminal FBO. Yeah, there's tons of parked cars. Once you leave the airport, well, you can kind of see what the crack is. Do you know, it's a big enough spot, isn't it? So as you drive in, you've all the training up here on the right hand side. You've hangars up here on the left hand side. There's gates everywhere and fencing, so that looks pretty cool, right? Isn't it there from Pilots Plus? I've no idea. Cloudberry Creations. It doesn't say. For their first release, it's very good. So maybe they are bringing a bit of experience to the table. You know what I mean? Got some interiors there. Just nothing going on in the hangars, but they have an interior. That's pretty cool. It's very, just very photo realistic, isn't it? And it used to be an RAF base. You know, in times gone miles ago. Loads of GA space. Yeah, this is nice. Interesting part of the world. ETS says Eindhoven has collapsing parking garages. Really? So the Airbus building, so they're saying that's new. Eurocopter. It used to be Eurocopter, of course, but sure, Airbus bought Eurocopter. Oh, look, here's the new Airbus building down here. Look, I didn't even see this. Now, isn't that terribly fancy? It's Airbus helicopters. Yeah, this looks nice. Just a huge building. That's the latest edition. It's nice, isn't it? You might have to move house while walking the dog. Someone has bought a Skoda. The area's going downhill. Eamon, listen, what are you talking about? You need to go to your neighbour, congratulate them on their continued success, and, you know, bring them like a food hamper. Do you know what I mean? Nighttime textures and lighting, I suppose. Alright, so we've got basic runway lighting, which, you know, there's this huge spill lighting here. That's quite nice. Onto the ramp. Taxiway lighting is good. That's custom taxi gadgets, look. Yeah, that's pretty good. Nice interior lighting shining through. It's not bad. I mean, it's what you'd expect really from, you know, oh, there's a texture flicker. It's pretty much what you'd expect. I mean, it wouldn't be like super bright. Like it doesn't seem to be a very kind of busy place in terms of larger aircraft traffic, you know. Hey, Practically Geek, good to see you. Miss Pilot Plus so much. Reckon it's as good as is. Pilot Plus scenery still works in 24. Oxford seems to have some glitches though. Yeah, no, it looks nice. Whatever happened to Pilots Plus? They had really nice stuff. Wasn't it Southend they did? I think Southend was brilliant by them. Yeah, this is nice. This is a really nice airport. It's basic. It's general aviation, but accuracy and all the jazz. It's interesting, isn't it? Cloudberry. Yeah, it's the first go. Yeah. Promise. At the very, do you know what they like? The very kind of burning blue. That's the vibe I get from this. You know what I mean? The kind of like off the beaten track kind of airports. They did Bristol as well, Muse, did they? Jesus. Yeah, no, this is decent. And for the price, $11.99. If it was your home airport or somewhere close to your home airport, you're going to be all over it. You're going to say, yeah, 100%. Like, there's nothing here that goes, wow, I need to get this. Key West had wow features. Hong Kong had wow features. Here, there's no wow feature. It's just a nice, well put together airport. It'd be up there with the likes of UK 2000 and Burning Blue. Burning Blue probably having the edge. But it's a lovely airport. Great modelling. There's a nice variety. You can go exploring. There's choppers, business and GA. It's certainly a flight school area. It's in a nice part of the countryside. Yeah, it's nice. Mac 1, good to see you. What do you think of it, lads? I mean, for a first scenery, I think it's quite good. I think it's very good. Beautiful. Right now. If aircraft down here don't turn off TV. What are they doing there? Training aircraft, look. Oh, that's the original RAF. Ah, yes. Look, you can see the original runway from the RAF, look. Ah, yeah. So, hang on. She would have ran that way. Yes. It's mad when you, like, isn't it cool in the sim? You go looking at airports, especially in the UK, you go looking at airports and you're thinking, there's a story behind that, you know? Yeah, you kind of buy it if you're local, yeah. Yeah, Hong Kong was awesome. Yeah. Absolutely awesome. It was incredible. Right, so that is Cloudberry Creations, Oxford. So for the last thing, lads, I want to show you this new feature from Navigraph. So Navigraph have added, finally, scratchpads in which we're able to now write or scribe or scribble or whatever when it comes to using Navigraph. So in order to get it, you just need to update Navigraph, and you might be looking around the screen thinking, where's my scratchpad? And I think this is the first kind of half wide they may have kicked. There should have been a panel here for scratchpad. I don't see one. They need to add it out here. Anyway, in order to get there, you have to create a flight. We're going to say new flight, and now we have access to our scratch pads. But I would have preferred to see the scratch pad out in the main menu, because like there's loads of real estate over here. We've loads of space down here. We've shag all space in here. So I don't know why they said, right, we'll give you the scratch pad in here where you're going to have all your charts. Your scratch pad should be over here. That's my thinking. I could be wrong, but that's my advice, right? And I'll be sure to let them know. Yes, Murphy, we'll change it because you think it's a good idea. Right, you know, the chances of them doing that now, of course, are very, very slim. But anyway, in order to access it, you would start a new flight. So let's say, for example, we're going to fly out of Cork. We're going to fly out of Cork. And we're going to go back to Cork. Because we're going to do this tomorrow, right? And let me see. We'll add in the Clonmel. We're going to add in the Clonmel MDB. We're going to add in the Shannon VOR. And then we'll go back into Cork. Okay, so we can plan this as a VFR flight. Why aren't we going back to Cork? Destination needs to be Cork. Set destination Cork. Here we go. Okay, so here's the flight plan. Very basic. We'll call it VFR, even though we're doing instruments along the way, but that's fine. So what we can do here now, down at the bottom, right? My mug is blocking it. Down at the bottom here, you have this new scratchpad, and we have our normal charts here, right? And there's a little update here. You can now superimpose the chart over the airport. That's a kind of nice thing to do. And then we can bring up the information here. If we want to look at the pads, the scratch pads, well, we have a load of different options, look. So we'll start off, bit of blank paper, and what we can do, this might look familiar, we can use letters here to type in, right? Or we pick it to, like, where are you? Marker, squiggly lines. You can do shapes. You can do circle. You know what I mean? You get the idea, and you can change colors and all this kind of stuff as well, right? So if I were to go into squiggly lines, can we change the color? Yeah. You know, teal. Because Cyrus T loves teal, and I've spelled that like a mage 4, but you get the idea, right? And we can delete all that and then start a new one. So if I say, look, delete all of that, yes, clear it all. So similar to what we have with annotations, right? So what I like is you can use keyboard, or you can use the a pen, and you can use your mouse as a pen. Ideally, this is going to work better on your tablet, all right? But that's just a blank paper template. Now, what I don't like here, there's 3 things I need to press, or 2 things to get rid of it. Let's say, right, I'm not going to use that bit of blank paper. I've no option in here to delete this outright. I can't remove it. The only way I can remove it, click on the 3 little dots, and then we get the little delete icon. So in order, if you select the wrong one, you have to press 1, 2. Okay, 2 buttons. Fair enough. I thought I'd ask you to confirm. So you have 2 buttons to get rid of one, or to get rid of one. Then we can select a different one. So if you wanted lined paper, and again, if you want to be typing in here, you absolutely can, right? Hello there. Be Janie. Oh wait, well I'm not doing the next line. I will. Be Janie. That's interesting now, because if you type in enter, yeah, the margin here is kind of weird. What if I do shift? Ah, yeah, okay. So if you want to literally get to the next line, you have to press shift and enter. Well, that's totally fine. We can work around that. Or again, you can use your marker. Very good. Then we have gridded paper, which might be easier if you're writing down stuff, right? Maybe. Then we have a notepad, and this is just for typing notes, this is handy, right? So you can write down the instruction, you know, turn left, heading 270, this sort of stuff. Grand. And it's notes, and you can make it, you know, change the font size and stuff. Basic enough. Don't know how popular that one will be, but it's there. Then you have templates. This is where it gets pretty interesting. So here's your ATIS. So you can write in or type in your departure ATIS and your arrival ATIS. And this is nice because you can type it so you can read your own writing, or you can scribble it in. You can change like the thickness of things, the lines when you're writing, you know. So EICK. It's a devil writing with a mouse, but if you had a pen, you know what I mean. And you can write in all your stuff there. Next up then we have our PIREP, or pilot report, okay? So we can fill in all is an urgent report, location, time, altitude, flight level, aircraft type, your sky cover, the weather, visibility, temperature, wind, turbulence, icing. That's where we can complete a pilot report. Then we have our times out and times in. So off blocks, off the gate, time, oil, hydraulics, heading. Shouldn't they have fuel on this? Are they missing one? Sure, do you have, I mean, oil, yeah, hydraulics, yeah, but usually fuel is on time in, time out. Anyway, takeoff and landing data, runway, takeoff weight, trim, flap, V-speeds. Again, you can write all these down. Nice. And then we have our craft, clearance, route, altitude, frequency, and transponder. Cool. And then last one, then we have holding clearances. Hold of radial, left or right turn, altitude, expect further clearance. So the templates are quite good. But again, if you want to delete these, there's no quick right click. I'd rather right click delete. You know what I mean? So if I want to remove these, I got to bring up a menu to say, right, well, I don't need this, don't need that, don't. Oh no, wait, I needed that one, and then all your notes are gone. So I don't know what will work better there. Like, would you rather be challenged to say, are you sure you want to delete this? You know what I mean? Because if you just wrote down, you know, half your clearances, and then for whatever reason you deleted the wrong one because there's no easy way to delete it. You got to go into drop down menu, come back over, hit delete. You know what I mean? If these are like just small things, but like there's a reason why the other apps on Garmin and whatnot, there's a reason why they don't have it like this. Do you know what I mean? And it'll stay persistent so long as, you know, it has that flight plan loaded and you can go back in and look at it. So if I were to unload this flight, right? If I were to unload this flight, did I write stuff? I did. So we're going to unload the flight. And the problem with this is I've now lost those notes. Unless they have them buried in here somewhere. Surely, Navigraph, we can customize this. Settings. No, I don't think we can. And maybe there's an update. Maybe they'll add it because, you know, we'll ask them nicely. You know what I mean? Pinboard route. I don't see it. Settings. Would it be in our settings menu? You're running the latest version of charts. Okay, map, moving maps, route, charts, chart mode. No, there's nothing there that I could see. So like, I would rather see scratchpads on their own menu. Makes total sense. Now, if I wanted to reload that flight, yeah, it remembers your notes. That's not. I like that. I did notes yesterday. It doesn't remember them. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so I wonder how long they remember the... One cannot erase a small error, I believe. One has to delete the whole page. No, you can delete a small error. I mean, if you're writing here, I'm after making a mistake. I mean, you hit the back key, it gets rid of just that mistake. Or bring up the eraser. Where's the eraser? There used to be an eraser button. There used to be an eraser button. No, that's not it. Set drawing color. Is that it? No, that's not it. Okay, there's no eraser button. But you can undo what you've just done. You can't redo it. Be careful, right? Are they bound to the flight? Can't you say flight notes? They're bound to the flight. Yeah. They're bound to the flight, which is fine, you know. But I'd rather have this information. Well, you can argue, right? You know, you're not going to go near any sort of notes before you filed a flight, or you're actively planning a flight. But that's where I disagree. If you're flying VFR and you're going to say, right, well, I want to head from here. I'm going to head from, like, you know, Cork up to Dublin, right? And unless you put in your origin and your arrival, if you just put in your origin and you headed away, I'd rather have notes or access to me notes in here. Because it means I could be looking at, you know, the VFR map or the world map or, you know, friggin' VFR charts for Europe. I could be looking at this stuff and now writing notes. So like I could be like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go. Now, you can kind of do it after the fact, but if you want to be flight planning, you know, maybe there's an option there to look into that on the Navigraph side. You know, can we put these, you know, the scratchpad? Can we put scratchpad into the menu over here on the left hand side? That's where I think it belongs. Flights, airports, pin boards, user waypoints. That's where it should be. Your scratch pad should be there. Because even if you look at your flight, by the time you load in all your charts, like if you're doing a complex flight, what did we do there a while ago? That's not even that complex. Where was our last VATSIM flight? You can see like the space we have down here on the bottom when it comes to my charts. And let's say, for example, right, I just want my blank paper one, and I'll need an ATIS, and I definitely want my craft, and oh sure, I'll better put in holding clearance. Like straight away, now you're having to scroll. Now you can probably hide all this stuff over here. Now everything's on the one page, but you get the idea. You know what I mean? And you can't move this around. Once you've placed them, you can't move them. There's no like, I grab this and move it across. I think that'd be way better if you could do that as well. Depending on what checklist or scratch pad you want. But notwithstanding that at all, having scratch pads in Navigraph, this is huge. It's huge. It's great. And it's long overdue. It's great to see it in there. Because they're very functional. You know what I mean? Like it's the ability now to be able to use your Navigraph. I mean, for a lot of people, they were possibly using a third-party app, paying for it, or they were using a real-world DFB in order to achieve, I need to take notes down, or I need to like write stuff down. Do you know what I mean? That's now all built with inside Navigraph itself. You know, I think it's great to see it. We've seen some really good stuff in Navigraph over the last couple of months. The Rogers charts VF4 for Europe, huge. That's a huge deal. Getting access to these sorts of charts, it's absolutely brilliant. And it's great now that we have, you know, scratch pads in here where we can start writing things down that we need. Notepad, grid paper, lined paper, whatever you want. Takeoff and landing data. You get the idea, right? Takeoff weight, runway for landing. And like they're there with you for the entire flight, which is great. Click the button. Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. There's oh yeah, here's the ATIS. Here's my clearance. Here's this. It just means, you know, you don't need a notepad open beside you. If you're using it on your tablet, specifically, I think your tablet or your phone, you have to write onto it. Game changer. Game changer. It's you know, we've been looking for this for ages, and we have it now, which is great. I got a wee whiteboard with a dry erase marker that cost me the same as a 1 month Navigraph. Yeah. A lot of people do. I've one here somewhere as well. The owl kind of magic thingies. I prefer to have it though on my tablet, because maybe there's notes you want to reflect over. Hey, what happened here? Or I got my clearance, or you know what I mean. I would love a way to be able to write or use annotations on this screen, on the map screen. That for me, that would be just like, yes, that is how it works. If you could write in notes and make, you know, the annotations, if you can do that on like sectionals, that'd be just amazing. You can literally just put it, like, you can kind of put it in, you can do it. I mean, if you want to fly to a specific area saying, right, okay, I want to go directly over Thurles, right, drop me in over Thurles, and they'll ask, well, what is this? And now you go up to here and say, well, it's a user waypoint. Is it a global waypoint, or you just want it for your flight? Just for the flight, you know, Thurles, and you can put in, you know, the tone with the GAA, for instance, and then that'll come up now as your name. Not balls. Copy, paste. It'll forevermore be called Thurles GAA. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you can resize them as well. Yeah. No, I'd love to have annotations out here, but the scratchpad, lads, it's a quality of life update that we've been wanting from Navigraph, and now we have it. It's only brilliant. Brillo pads, right? Any questions on how this works? Like, I don't think there's any way to like bring it from here anywhere else. Like, you're not going to be printing off notes or any of that. And to be honest, if you're going to be typing on lined paper, well, sure, you can open a Word document. This is something we're going to use, especially when it comes to like taking notes prior to our VATSIM flights, because it just means we can write a whole load of stuff with this. We can put in a lot of notes that we're going to need for our flights. And it means, okay, it's specific to that flight. So in one way, that's great. I don't know. I would have thought Scratchpad would be better over here, you know? Anyway, that's the story now, lads. That covers tonight. It was a busy one. We were flat out tonight. So I want to thank you all so very much indeed for tuning in. And well, hopefully what we cover tonight has been helpful, informative, and you know what the crack is. We covered a fair bit of ground. So we're back to you tomorrow morning, 1100 Zulu. We're going to be doing some pilot training. We're over in Cork, and we're going to be focusing on the all about airports, taxiway, signage, lights, you know, speeds you can do, where should you go, what are the flows like, what do ATC say to you, what you can and what you can't do. And we're going to try and focus on various different airports. The idea behind this is build up your confidence at a particular airport, and then we can, you know, plan it on from there. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, lads, massive thanks to everyone who joined us for this evening. The support tonight as well, absolutely incredible. IniBuilds going bananas with all the gifted subs as well. Absolutely incredible. So lads, thank you all so very much indeed. We will see you tomorrow at 1100 Zulu. So until then, you take care. I rarely use this word when it comes to flight sim add-ons. I reserve it only for the special kind. But like, there's no point saying anything other than this is shite. It's shite. Like, into beta, reversers, flaps in. Get out of beta. Get out of the beta. Ah! That's weird, the throttle doesn't move.
Hey, good morning.
Jerry Coogan, many thanks for the follow. Hang on, we need to get out of beta. No, that's backwards, Murph. Uh-oh. Get out of... Oh, we nearly tipped it over, lads. You see it? Jesus. Why won't you get out of beta, you devil? Your controls are no longer agreeing with me. Right, what's it doing now? Not as beta. Stupid thing. Stop reversing! Ah, you need to go forwards! Oh, we've got a gun sight. This is a beta, so I'm not too worried. It looks great though, doesn't it? Listen to this. Did you hear that bang?